Waffle.
And welcome. That always comes round faster than expected. Welcome back to Isfjell. I won't delay the upcoming battle too much. But before we begin, first of all, does anyone have any announcements? I know that there is Vampire tomorrow, the wonderful world of DC by Night. And I believe that there is Haunted Chronicles
on Tuesday night, yes.
On Tuesday night. And that's
okay. I've done a horrible job of prep today. Our cameras are off.
And today, all right. First
Okay.
of all, House, I'd like to give you your best Torvald impression.
Oh, well, I have a beard, and I like Thunder God.
Hold on.
Pretty good.
Thunder.
All right.
Thunder, smite them.
All right.
There you go.
Now, Bova, from you, I want your best Lucian impression. Now, it's going to be a bit harder. Don't know.
Yeah.
Just be
well,
sneaky.
you know, I like to sing songs, and I'm a really good spy because I got caught, and that's the best thing when you're a spy. It's actually the best way to get information. Did it on purpose, I promise.
Pretty good. Okay, Chael, Aldous, please.
I have a cat and I can shoot out things from my fingertips, and I'm not very good at stealing spells.
And last but not least, Mama, Des, bring us Corsara.
All right. I'm going to get angry right now because you did something to my daughter and or sister. Where's my hammer?
I'm Ira. Welcome.
I think we've got everything is fine. Okay, we're sticking with those characters from now on out.
Oh damn!
Everything is fine.
Corsara's sheet.
just hit things with a hammer.
Try not to sleep with all the elves. Just the cute ones.
We'll get the cameras fixed in a
all
moment.
the elves are cute.
I am working on it.
Well,
all right. In the meantime, does anyone else have any announcements about any exciting upcoming things, projects, things that our viewers would like to know about?
I'm not a part of it, but there is going to be a Wraith game coming up.
Sometime in July.
Sometime, like I said, I'm not a part of it, so I don't know all the details.
If you're in the Discord, a new trailer dropped last night. Feel free to check it out.
It looks really cool. I'm also not involved with it, so I'm allowed to say that. It looks really cool, and I'm looking forward to it. And it also sounds horrible, but in a good way.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch it.
If
Horrible in a good way is
more,
like
you might want to invest in some bulk tissue paper over here.
Right. Okay, so I need to wrap myself like a toilet paper mummy to cry.
Yeah. Most effective.
okay.
All right. So last week, the crew of the Cloud Maiden finally got out of the forest and headed for the town of Rivermore in Tilafen. They found themselves landing in the midst of quite a complex situation, and they handled it with diplomatic grace and ended up fleeing the camp, having destroyed a large part of a garrison of the Elven army in the company of their new companion, temporary ally, a half-elf who was acting as a spy on behalf of the Fenish, I think we went for in the end. Never name a country if you don't know what you're going to call the people who are from it. The people of Tilafen. And realizing that there is a flying war fortress on its way west, the party headed to the capital, hoping to get there, and indeed getting there before the war fortress, warned the queen, and have been hired on as a mercenary force in the coming battle, with the promise of 7,000 gold pieces and some additional help from the queen. And as we left off, goats had been sacrificed in the name of the gods. Definitely in the name of the gods, yeah. And the war paint is on.
In the name of
Right.
cosmetics.
In the name of cosmetics. And there is only a couple of hours yet to go before the fortress is due to arrive at the city. And so we'll pick up in the war room in just a minute. For now, roll the intro, and please excuse any technical difficulties. We'll be back when we have it sorted. Welcome. Before there was darkness, before there was order, there was chaos. An endless war between the gods and their enemies. A war the gods could not win. Till a champion arose, wielding a weapon of otherworldly power. The war was won, the enemy banished, but the weapon was shattered, its fragments scattered across the new formed world. Now, thousands of years later, many seek the fragments of that long-lost weapon. Among them, our 5 brave heroes. The druid, troubled by dreams and his own temper. The blacksmith turned warrior in search of revenge. The raider, determined to protect her friends and her growing family. The traveller from a distant land, guardian of those down on their luck. And the girl willing to sell her soul for a taste of adventure. Their hunt will take them to distant and dangerous lands, far beyond the borders of Isfjell. And we're back.
And that's how Adair's life ended.
Hello. Am I making my apology? Or are we moving on?
We are moving on.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
No one noticed. We're good.
Cool. I apologize for nothing. Okay.
it's in the castle of Yezebin, the capital of Tilafen, in this large chamber, sort of stone walls hung with tapestries, vaulted ceiling. In the center, a couple of big tables have been pushed together. There's various maps laid out with like little markers indicating various army units. There's a few pins, not actually red drawing pins, they're the only pin markers I have. There's pins in this map. And a small gathering of people clustered round. Lucian is there, sort of discussing tactics or whatever. Also present there is the Queen herself, dressed now in sort of, it's not quite ceremonial armor, but it's definitely on the fancier side of armor. It's her hair tied down into a tight braid, breastplate on, her emblazoned with the heraldic symbol of Tilafen, the majestic squirrel. And gathered around the room, you see there's a couple of older generals. So most of the people in the room look to be soldiers. There's a couple, aside from the Queen, you probably see like 2 or 3 others who are not obviously soldiers, 2 or 3 others who are not armed. And the doors at the far end of the room open, and our newly hired barbarian outlander mercenaries enter. Just come from their battle preparations. And the people in the room sort of turn to look up as as the 5 of you enter. And the Queen says, yes, these are the people I was talking about. Come in. Gentlemen, Lady Apollonia, may I present to you our new mercenaries? Apparently they have a flying boat. It should be most helpful in the battle to come. Our scouts say we've got about 2 hours before the fortress is over the city. Lucian, I'm putting you in charge of liaising with these 5.
So I guess we're not going with the stealth option.
I will leave it to your judgment and their judgment, how you want to approach it. There's some quite heavy cloud cover. It's still quite dark.
I mean, if we actually get on the fortress, you won't really blend in. Kind of staring at the war paint.
So, this was for the gods.
We want to win, don't we?
Alrighty. Hey, I don't judge how you do it as long as we get results, right?
Exactly. Now, Adolphus, you take your men round to the Bastion Gate. Ventillus, you take the North Gate. And she starts sort of issuing commands to various other people in the room. So her attention turned away from you for the time being.
I say, come here. And I look for some paper, like maybe the back of a scroll or a map, and I flip it over. And I imagine there's going to be some ink on the table. And I draw a crude outline of the fortress. And I start going over some of the stuff I learned when I was not caught.
Yes.
What I was able to get was most of the basic troops are a complement of archers and ground forces. They carry three units of war mages, some combat trained wizards and sorcerers, probably around 10 to 12 mages total. Many of the troops are equipped with at least a single-use featherfall spell. So if they get close, we have to watch out that they're not able to jump onto the ship. The fortress is able to stay aloft using, elemental magic. I don't know if any of you have any knowledge with how elemental magic works, but if you do, that might help us bring this thing down. They have war machines, state-of-the-art war machines that were created by gnomes. It sounds like they're pretty tough. Again, we don't want the ship going down, or your ship going down. They're probably less than 300 people on board total, but they're not to be underestimated. They're going with the quality, not quantity, in this fortress. And then
I mean that leaves 6 of us versus quality versus quantity.
Exactly.
and they also
You
have
want
as soldiers. So flying might not be as big of an advantage on our part as we might hope.
I'm excited. Is that okay to say?
Feel how you feel, darling.
Okay. I just feel like I'm in my element. This is very fun.
You don't
we can
look
all
the stealthiest group, but being that you're expert mercenaries and all, how do you usually fight?
I died once, so now I'm not afraid of it. So I'll just go.
Good. Cool. Great. Cool.
I look at Chrisara.
We tend to attack blindly and without coordination, which helps confuse the enemy.
Well, it's your ship,
Yes.
so.
I have a hammer and I crack skulls, as long as I don't miss.
Do you happen to know, does the commander of this flying fortress, do they have a green nightdress?
Are they
No.
specifically an elf?
Green is not typically their color. And what are the typical vestments that the enemy wears?
I mean, it would depend. You don't know exactly what all the enemy wear to bed.
No, I mean, just like
What kind of a spy are you?
Yeah, what kind of a bard are you?
Sorry, what the city's colors?
Oh, well,
Or the
you know,
Empire colors?
the Empire's like official, like they're very into gold.
You'll see a lot of gold.
I might say probably black and gold would
Black
be
and-
there.
And what does their flag look like? What's their animal, their favorite animal?
It's a dragon.
It's a dragon. Okay.
And what's the
What-
thread count on their bed sheets?
That's
You actually
important.
have those T-shirt sheets.
How many pillows do they typically keep on their bed?
What type of
Please say
government is it?
it's
Is it an
fine.
oligarchy? Is it a
It's so obnoxious
monarchy?
when you throw pillows because you have to like take them
It's an
off.
empire
How do they like their tea?
Not
in vast quantities. It's an empire.
Do they have a state flower?
Not that you know of.
Your Majesty, do we have any of those what are they called? Those packs that are in development that might help them in case they fall or they want to glide onto the fortress. What were those?
Frederick, fetch the squirrel suits.
Oh yeah, the squirrel suits.
I'm sorry, the what?
There were only 4 completed, and I just have a lot of doubts over everything about them, but you're welcome to them.
I have several squirrel suits.
Yeah, they're suits infused with featherfall magic, but they open up like those flying squirrels.
Does it have the tail?
What are flying squirrels?
I want to put it on.
Oh, for
Well,
the love of badgers.
You can fly, you said, so it might be good for those of us who are gravity challenged.
Well,
Yes.
it's more like falling in style, if we're honest.
Yes,
So
definitely.
hold on.
One
you
of us.
only have 4, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 of us.
Well, Kursara has that brooch I gave her, right?
I do.
Oh, okay. And I mean, technically, I can cast fly, but if I cast fly, we lose the ship. If I'm flying,
No, that's bad. Ira you said you could levitate, right?
Yes.
So maybe the other. So I toss. Have they arrived? Sorry.
They're just being fetched.
Oh,
So
maybe I kind of ruffle there's hair. Maybe this guy here, our master dwarf, and myself and you, Aldous, might make the best suit bearers.
Adair, can't you just turn into a flying squirrel?
I'm
Torvald,
afraid
please put one of those.
it doesn't work that way.
Oh, it doesn't.
And he kind of turns a little red.
not quite Sister Birds yet.
I haven't quite advanced to the level of.
Oh, that's okay, buddy. Not all of us can do that yet. That's what I mean. I have to wear one myself, so don't feel so bad.
Wait,
Bring
so
them over. Bring them
when
over.
when Adair puts on the flying squirrel suit, will it still fit when he becomes like an animal?
Probably not.
Oh. What happens to Adair's clothes when he turns into an animal? Just curious.
well,
There.
wait.
They kind of get absorbed into the aether and come back when I change.
Yeah, he's never been naked when he's come back from being a bear or a badger.
No.
I'm only naked when I am an animal.
Okay, cool.
It's not like that show, The
I
Incredible
won't look at
Orc,
you
where
when you're an
he
animal
gets
anymore.
all, "Rrr."
Anyhow, Your Majesty.
Yes.
I think
If you require more troops or anything on your ship, I will be happy to provide.
any you
We're
can,
moving. Pardon?
any you can spare.
Well, they will not necessarily be adept at either flying or magic. They are
No,
merely.
preferably archers, to maybe for some ship defense.
I can spare, if you have room and they won't get in your way, I can spare you half a dozen archers off the bat.
That be okay? Looking.
Only if they're cool.
And brown hair, tall.
Trying to make me jealous.
Adolphus?
Is it working?
Is it the hair or the tall?
reassign 6 of
It's a
your archers
combination.
to work with the mercenaries. Right away, Your Majesty. So, do I take it that you are attempting to fly out into the snowstorm and get there before they reach the city?
Why not?
Probably best.
Ooh, is there a lake or anything nearby?
There's the river.
It's not big enough.
It
Okay.
depends what you're trying to do with it.
Well, if we have to, I don't know,
If we're able to
drop.
if we're able to nullify the elemental magic.
I would prefer if it came down on the cabbage fields outside the city rather than in the city itself.
Aldous?
Hmm.
We all know that Sindri's special. Can Sindri fly the ship?
Sindri's in the room with us, right?
If it depends on if you left her with the boat or not. If you brought her, she is there.
I think we did bring her. I'm gonna turn to Sindri and look at her and can you?
I've not tried. I don't know if I could do any of the fancy stuff Adair did that time. But if you needed just to keep in the air and not fall down, I might be able to do that.
Yes. Can we try, please?
Only
we
Aldous
need
can hear that.
If we need to board Aldous, all I'm thinking is if we need to board, maybe if Sindri could do this, she could take over flying. But I know it's
So she just told me that as long as she doesn't have to do the fancy flying, she might be able to. We should probably test it before we actually go out there.
We don't have a lot of time.
All we need to know is if she can lift the boat off the ground.
All right. We have to head to the boat, the ship
Lucian?
anyway. So
Lucian. I recommend before we test this, and especially if Sindri's going to fly, we need a supply of fish.
Mm-hmm. She
Maybe.
loves fish.
yeah, fish. Majesty,
I don't
maybe-
want her taking the boat fishing when we need it.
May we get some fish?
2 crates.
Vincent, do our stores have any fish in them? Yes, Your Majesty. I will acquire some fish. Also, here are the squirrel suits. And he dumps down these 3, essentially sort of appear to be sort of makeshift hang gliding suits, but also in very squirrel-esque design. Like they'll fit onto like your arms and then fluff out.
I will hold 2 of them up and see which one will fit me more.
They're adjustable, but how much of them is magic and how much of them is
Aerodynamics.
aerodynamics? You're not sure, but
I think
Horrible,
this
I want
one
to
will-
see you.
Can I take, before we go, can I take some time to try and disguise myself as an enemy soldier? Because I imagine I would have swiped.
ooh,
I would have
yes.
like a guard's or a soldier's outfit, because as a spy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say, you've got.
I'm proficient in disguise kit.
Yeah, I can say you're proficient in the disguise kit. Make me an intelligence with proficiency for basically, have you got the right guard kit? The right things, but you've got proficiency from your disguise kit.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll, just to make it easy, because I'm rolling from D&D Beyond. I'm gonna roll investigation, just because that's the same.
Yeah.
That block.
As long as they add up to the right number of dice.
I tossed the extra squirrel suit to Adair after I figured out which one will fit me best.
I rolled a 20.
That
You reckon you've done a pretty good job at this? Well, Yeah.
Adair will put on the squirrel suit without a second.
Yeah.
No problem at all.
Aldous starts to put on the is it a pants suit or is it like what?
It's
The
like
pants-
It's more like an upper body sort of squirrel costume
like
slash hang gliding suit.
fabric that connects your wrists to your ankles.
Oh, okay. So yeah, no, I will put it on over my dress.
Okay, so correctly attired and equipped.
Are we in a tower or are we on the ground floor? Or...
You're currently in the keep. You are on an up. You'd be on probably the first floor of the keep. That is second floor for Americans.
What?
Are there any windows?
So I just really we count floors differently.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, you're on the second floor. There are windows, but this is very much a keep, so they're small windows. They are.
Nothing I could shove Torvald through in his squirrel suit to see if he flies.
You could
Just joking,
certainly
Torvald. I wouldn't do that.
Sure.
Well, I wish you the best of luck on this endeavor. You'll be well rewarded should we win this battle, and may the gods watch over you. The faith of Tempest and Tyre are upon you.
Lucian bows. Thank you, Your Majesty. We will not let you down.
Thank you. May the All Mother and Wild King and their family watch over you as well.
She nods back and then turns back to her men. Gentlemen, we need to assemble the forces. Someone fetch me my horse.
Okay.
Walking towards the ship, Lucian is still holding that glass staff, and he's like, could anyone use a boost of armor? By that, would anyone's dex or AC improve if they had 13 plus their dex?
Me!
Absolutely.
Aldous is wearing like 4 layers at this point.
Pop Aldous on the head and cast mage armor on her with my staff of defense. So 13 plus your dex is now your AC.
Ow. Thank you.
Right. Anyone else?
I mean,
Well, if we have to add our dex to it, no, it wouldn't do me as much good.
I'd have a 12. If I added my dex to
My dex
13, I'd have
modifier
a
is a
-1.
-1, so.
That just bumped me up to a 14 for AC as opposed to a 12. So I'm happy with that.
All right, so you head back through the city. It's still dark. It's not morning yet, and it is still snowing. So you can see the air is sort of quite white, buffets of snow blowing back and forth. It's not very good visibility. You can see sort of the lights glowing in the house as you head back through the city. There's clearly preparations for war going on. You see people like wheeling carts along with sort of rocks and ballista bolts up to the battlements, people maneuvering horses around through the streets. There's an air, you don't pass many people who aren't soldiers, but the few you do, there's definitely an air of like, oh shit, like fear in the air, like people looking up to the sky with absolute terror, like they know what's coming. But you return back, you find where you left the Cloud Maiden on this meadow inside the city. The guards sort of standing watch on it, like no one's touched it.
Are you the
Sir?
ones? Are you the ones joining us?
Yes, sir. Vern Household Guard. We got left here by accident.
Oh, have the archers arrived yet?
He points to a bow on his back. We are archers, sir.
Oh, sorry. That was Dan to test, but we're good.
Oh, sorry.
No. Great. Well, you men are.
Sorry, sir.
This is not going to be an easy mission. We ask that you defend off anything trying to board the ship from above or from the fortress. Can you handle that?
Yes, sir. Beg pardon, sir, but I don't think there's any easy missions in this fight.
Well, let's see if your cat can fly the ship.
Sindri,
God,
please.
you see the expression on the guard's face. Like he had like a sort of a yes, I can do, like a sort of sealing himself for the fight. And then when you say that, you see the look on his face just go to complete like, oh no.
I've seen anything when I've seen a cat fly.
Sindri and I get up on the boat, and then I guess Sindri will hop up into the chair and let's see what happens.
Can Sindri be inspired?
I think so. I don't know what the rules are on inspiration. If it has to be, I mean, Sindri is a creature.
Okay then. I start singing a little tune. The cat's in the maiden on the wooden ship. See if it can fly or take a dip. When we come into the fortress, this is our chance. Let's not miss.
And what is that? A D?
DA8. Yeah, DA8.
Okay.
I love this game.
I don't think
The
Lauren
cat.
sings enough. We need to fix that.
The cat sits down on the chair, sort of curls up. Doesn't look like it's particularly at attention. And then you feel there's a slight tremor through the deck of the boat. And just this ever so slightly almost luminescent, almost not luminescent, that's not the word, almost phosphorescent glow just pass across it for a moment. It's a strange sparkling greenish energy. And then the boat starts to rise up into the air. Completely. Like, in between Sindri's roll of a 20 on the dice, plus the inspiration, this is possibly the best flying this boat has ever had.
Nice.
Like,
And we know we'll always land on our feet, so that's good.
yeah, I think we're on to about a 27 there total for that roll of how well does the cat fly the boat.
Can that be her role every time now?
Right.
You would like it to be. You can delegate flying the boat to the cat, but it won't give you the fine control over maneuvering, but you can make the cat fly the boat if you would like.
Awesome. That is wonderful, Sindri. Thank you so much.
Where would you like me to take it?
Is everybody else on the boat yet? Or are they still in the field?
No, I think
We all went to the boat, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
I look around at everybody else. Where are we going? I land my gaze on Lucian since he's the one who's supposed to know this stuff.
Do any of you have, before we set off for the fortress, do any of you need ranged weaponry? I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to board or if we're gonna have to fend off from afar. So if you have ranged weaponry, great. Otherwise,
I think last session that we were asked about armaments before we split off.
If you want to have had like a bow, or as long as it's like it'll be it's not magical, it's just standard ordinary equipment. But yeah, if you want to have bows, extra javelins, spears, like they would have armed you.
Oh, I've already got a short bow.
Yeah.
So I just need to make sure I have enough arrows.
So feel free to add that. If you would have picked up a bit of extra weaponry. All right. So the cat is waiting for commands. The boat is hovering in the midst of this falling snow. You know that the fortress is approaching from the southeast, this direction.
Let's take it low and approach from under. Hopefully, use the cloud cover to our advantage. If we can see anything underneath the fortress that might give us an early advantage, great. Otherwise, we can rise up. I think this would be a case where coming in lower would be better than trying to come in from above, where they have a lot of defense against.
Do you think with your excellent disguise you'd want to go on ahead and see if you can find anything out?
We have to get close. We have to get close. That's the thing. I mean, I'm doing this to protect us if we get close.
Aye.
Getting close is not going to be easy.
Well,
if I'm able to get on, certainly, but we're crossing a bridge we haven't even gotten to yet.
Well, I guess this is our best shot, so let's give it a try.
I will. I've taken my place behind the chair, right behind Sindri. I reach over and scratch her ears. You understand? Stay in the cloud cover and try to find something underneath the fortress first.
All right, hang on. Just 1 sec. Just sorting one last thing. But maneuver you. Oh, just need to hide something else. Nothing.
Question: does a spell where it's located on a spot, like with the ship, is the ship considered?
If the ship is moving. It depends if you're casting it on the ship. What kind of spell? If you cast like Entangle on the deck of the ship, that moves with the ship. If you're casting something that's hovering in the air and the ship moves.
Oh, I was thinking of ritually casting silence on part of the ship just to mask us approaching even more.
If you're targeting part of the ship, if it's fixed.
I mean, it's only never mind.
I would allow that, but yeah, silence.
Okay, here's a question. If the ship is moving,
yes,
and you cast something that's hovering, it would continue with the momentum, correct? Because it would be
It depends if it's attached to the ship or if it's hovering in the air.
Well, according to physics, it wouldn't matter, right? It's like if you throw a ball up in the air.
It's magic.
Right.
It depends on if it's something that is hovering in the air and sort of moving under its own momentum and not attached to the ship, then if the ship moves, it's not necessarily going with it.
Right. I'm saying like if the ship's moving and it's moving and the ship doesn't stop moving, is it still moving at the same pace as the ship until the ship stops?
No.
It just like...
It depends what it is. It depends if it's your floating axe. Your axe is moving under its own accord and flying. So,
okay.
Unless you want it to be attached, and if you can have it tethered to the ship, or you can have it not tethered to the ship, basically. But you pick one and stick with it. So you can either have it, or it's always going to be like tied to where the ship is. So if the ship moves, it moves with it, or it can always be free floating.
Gotcha.
We'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah.
Burn
it with all the fire.
There's a lot of questions with inertial reference frames. And
an important announcement to all DMs. Never, ever give your players a flying boat. Unless you...
Especially if you don't want to deal with 3D fights.
But yes. So you said you're keeping it fairly low to the ground. And Sindri
Cool, clever.
Sindri is flying the boat, but as to where you would like to position yourselves on the deck, I'll leave that up to you.
I finally am able to access roll 20 this time.
You have 6 archers as well. They are weirdly similarly looking to each other.
I can't control my token.
Feel free to drag a new version of yourself on if then.
Ira would like to introduce herself to every single one of the archers.
Hello. Hello. Hi. Hello. Hi. All 6 introduce themselves.
All right.
Hi,
well,
Eric, Dave,
you're all-
Dave, Eric.
You're all very eccentric, which means I am sworn to protect you.
I'm Erica. This is my my cousin Dave.
Another Dave?
This is Ernst.
He's like Dave's like the red shirts of Isfjell.
Another Dave, another dollar.
And this is Marie.
Another Dave, another funeral.
Oh no.
And Marco. And last but not least, Big Dave. We've got 2 Daves, so.
No Eric's this
Please
time?
tell me Big Dave is
Erica.
ironically named Big Dave,
Oh,
and he's
Eric.
actually
I'm a halfling.
Yeah, I just want to refer to the other guy as Little Dave now.
So when they call me a Big Dave,
Little Dave the half orc goes, yes.
do I want to know what they're referring to?
It's a hilarious joke about the fact that they had a halfling Dave and a half orc Dave, and obviously they're not very funny.
Well, that's unfortunate. Are they any good with bows? That's the important part.
Awesome, aren't we were meant to be going back to Rivermore, but we got there was a bureaucratic mix-up, and we got told to stay in the barracks here, and now no one knows what to do with us, so they sent us with you.
Sindri, get back in the chair.
Who's flying the boat?
Anyway, I'm fairly good with a bow, so I think we should be all right. And you guys seem to have got stuff sorted. I mean, you've got a magic cat and a magic boat, and like big hammers and like blood on your face. Like, I mean,
Yeah. Which direction is the flying fortress? I want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
southeast was your last information.
All right. And are we going in the right direction, or is Sindri taking us in the other direction?
Sindri is taking you in the right direction,
Perfect.
although she doesn't look entirely happy about it. We could just leave, you know, she says in your mind, like if we go now, we could be miles and miles west before they even realize we're gone.
I'm going to respond in my mind, because they don't all need to know. Yes, but you know what we're trying to do, right? They might be able to help us find other pieces that we need.
Fair. And the queen would very much like all the pieces, you know. Yes.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, we need all the pieces to stop and the flash of the tentacle face, and then we also, you know, we need to survive this. For one, if it gets really bad, I'm all for leaving.
Just say the word. I mean, it's in our heads. It doesn't even need to be secret. Just say go, and I.
Well, I can also. I'll save some energy for a spell. I can take over flying at that point, and we can hightail it out of there.
Oh yes.
All of that was mental. Y'all didn't hear it.
The cat relaxes in the chair. Looks a bit happier now.
I don't know if Lucian can maybe use his passive investigation here, but one thing he's going to be like trying to keep a general lookout for is maybe a less than defended spot where the boat can come in and land and maybe be protected from any sort of attacks, or at least less attacks.
I will let you make a perception check when you get to the fortress. For now, you're flying through,
Cool.
Fairly low to the ground, but not that low, through this cloud, and I'd say nominate 2 of you who are keeping lookout. Make me a perception check.
I certainly will.
I will definitely be looking out.
Or 3 of you if you all 3 want to do it. But...
it was so close to being really good, but it's not. Mine's a 11.
Anyone else beat an 11?
Yes, I got 15 plus.
Okay.
Well, what was it again? Were we
16?
doing perception?
Perception, yes.
Perception,
Okay.
yeah, 15.
I just go with it. Okay, so 16 was the highest, yeah?
I think so.
So there, as the boat is flying along, looking up, you can see, at first it's more like the shadow, and then you can definitely see this movement. This up above you, you can see these 2 sort of overlapping V shapes sort of sweep above. Like if you've seen a flock of geese in the sky, sort of flying this V, these 2 cross above and then disappear off into the cloud and snow, and you see them wheeling round above. You don't know if they've seen you, but there's definitely someone up there or something up there. It seems to be flying patrols.
That was a dare that saw all that?
Yeah, that was a dare.
I will point it out to Orvald and Lucian and ask Lucian if he's familiar with that.
My guess is those are the Aarakocra formations. Just a guess.
And not knowing what that means whatsoever, Adair is going to look at him and go, good guys, bad guys.
Bad guys. Humanoid bird people.
Bird people, you say?
Yes, and you should keep it down, please.
This is me keeping it down.
This is part of the reason why we generally charge in.
So
Archers, be on the ready.
Aldous is going to pull out her bow, but then she realizes that she's got better stuff, so she puts her bow back. I have a spare bow if anybody needs one.
and
Do I recall how formidable the Aarakocra forces were? Were they more...
you wouldn't have had much direct dealing with them. You know that they're not actually that sort of much tougher necessarily than their standard forces. It's more just that they fly is the
I just didn't know if they were more like grunt forces or if they were a formidable...
they are not they're not the worst. Like they are
Gotcha.
and it's at this point that with a fairly decent perception check, one of these patrols does actually notice the boat flying beneath them. And wheeling down out of the sky towards the boat comes this formation of essentially bird people.
Fire, fire, fire!
And
How far
at
away
this
are
they?
point, as these bird people come wheeling down from above, that I would like people to please Roll me initiative.
I don't want to fight bird person though. I love bird person.
Bird person.
He is now Phoenix person.
Jeez,
well,
bird
yeah.
person. I don't really know.
Technically, he's in pieces in a closet. So
That is true.
Oh, nat 20.
I feel like I'm
wasting it on
missing
my
so many
initiative.
so many references
I
here.
rolled a 2, a
It's
1,
all Rick and Morty, so.
and +1. So
I could
I'm
never
at
really
a
get into
2.
that.
Oh my goodness. You were missing out, Tiss.
I know.
I
But-
missed it too. I don't know what's going on.
We're going to do a Rick and Morty watch party.
Oh no, thank you.
Hey.
yes.
Yeah. So Torvald, that was a
19.
19.
Yep.
There is a 9. 4 for Chrysara.
Jeez, Basara.
2 for Aldous. Lucian.
21.
If I had more
And,
spell slots, I'd just explode these things out of the air.
Ira.
If only.
16.
16. Okay, so as this flock / formation comes wheeling down from above, Lucian, you are up first. Torvald, you will be second. And then Ira, you will be third.
Cool.
So these birds are coming wheeling down. They're about probably 20 feet up above and some distance out, as indicated by the map. Getting closer.
Okay. Lucian is going to pull out a hand crossbow, line up the lead Aarakocra, and or he's going to step forward. He's going to have to. Yeah, he's going to step forward up to here and take a shot.
All right. Take a shot.
Probably not. 7.
You're shooting off into this snowy wind buffeting this your arrow away or bolt.
He'll use his bonus action to reload.
Okay. Torvald.
There's 6 of them.
There are 10 of
Oh
them.
no! Holy cow! I had my thing scrolled over to the left, and I was like, ah!
There's 10 of them.
Oh man, that's tough. And
And you can see they seem to be wielding some kind of spear javelin type weapons.
oh man. Okay. Torvald's going to cast a bolt of lightning. He's going to hold out his hand and it's going to go and it's going to strike right next to one of the lead one's head. As I told the dead.
9.
9.
See, I'm learning.
All right, 14 necrotic damage.
You hear this screech.
Oh wait, nope. I rolled the wrong dice.
Yeah.
I rolled the wrong dice.
Okay.
They
Hold
haven't
it.
been hurt yet. 5.
No.
5 necrotic damage.
You hear this screech, and they do not go plummeting to the sky, but they're not looking happy.
Okay.
All right. Is that everything, Torvald?
Yeah, Torvald's just gonna kind of step up to the front here and hold his shield up.
Ira, you are up.
Quick
Yeehaw.
question
Oh, never
before
mind.
she goes on her turn. With the spider climbing hat, do I feel like my feet are like attached to the boat with those? Like, can I
mean,
tell? Is it?
Your feet. I mean, if you're activating the spider climbing hats and casting, then yeah.
Like, do you have to activate it?
Uh,
Because before it just kind of worked, so I didn't know if I had to.
hang on. Ira, take your turn. I'll just get back to you in 1 sec. Sure, I had a.
Sure. Yeah, Ira is just going to move among all the archers. And she's gonna hang out in that little circle and hold action hold action a strike with her longsword and just kind of be on the defensive, keeping care of all the archers because she knows that they're doing more work than she is at the moment.
It's not spider climb. You have a climbing speed. You can move. It's not spider climb. You can move across up and down vertical surfaces without leaving your hands free. It doesn't need activating. You can just, as long as you're wearing this spangly spider hat, you are Spider Dwarf.
Spider dwarf. So I could literally just like hang upside down on the under the boat.
Yes.
Nice.
That's actually really awesome.
As long as you're wearing the fabulous hat.
I am, obviously.
For
You
those of
need
you who
ribbon
don't
to
know,
tie it on.
This is a headdress of a priestess of Lolth, complete with lots of spangly spiderness. Okay, so Ira, is that everything, or?
Yes, she just moved into defensive position around the archers and is holding an action in case any of the birdmen land on the ship.
Okay. So the birds, you see them swooping down and forwards. They are very fast in the air, and as they swoop down, they're still about 10 feet up above the deck as they swoop down in this this V formation, leaving the injured one slightly behind. He sort of falls back a bit behind the others.
Quack, 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 quack.
And this volley of javelins come flying forwards from the front. 2, 3, 4, 6 of them. So that will be, I'm going to say, 1 each for Ira, Torvald, Lucian, and the 3 archers who are standing near the edge of the boat. So I'm going to roll them in order. So Ira, that is a 5.
I'll protect one of the archers, probably the one closer to the V formation.
Torvald, that is a 15. These guys have got this down. And Lucian, that is a natural 1. I am not kidding. This die is dying. 3 archers, that is... So which one are you protecting, Ira?
The one closer to the middle of the ship. And then that just means disadvantage on that attack.
Okay. That was probably lucky because although it still hits, that was no longer natural 20.
Nice.
So you hear from 2 of the guards who now have, like, as these javelins glance past them.
She goes and blocks the one that's going to hit him in the face, and the other one hits him in the leg. Like, oops.
Yeah, like that would have taken him down. I'll say that was that's little Dave.
Oh, little Dave.
And
I've
on
got
the
you.
other side, Erica, the other half orc, goes, Dave, you're right.
I've got him.
I've named these guys now. They're growing personalities. And that will be the Erica's turn for now, which brings us to our archers. They form up and start firing back. I will take a step back from the side of the boat and start preparing to fire up the Erica. I'll get rolling on that. Meanwhile, it is Adair's turn, and then it will be Cressara's turn, then it will be Aldous' turn.
Adair is going to take a pebble out of his pouch, cast magic stone on it, and using his sling is going to attack the point of the arrow of bird people.
Okay.
Yeah. That'll be a 15.
15 will hit.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll smile.
15 hits.
I'll go for that. That will be 7 points bludgeoning damage.
Okay. 7 points. It's not down, but they definitely seem affected by it. Like they're not not particularly heavily armored. You see, they've got these beak-like faces, these big beating wings, but there's not much armor. They're very lightly armored. And is that everything there?
That is it.
All right, Krasara, you are up.
Right, I am. Where am I at? I'm going to scoot over here and I'm going to attack with my longbow. And I get 2 attacks. I'm actually going to roll them all at once. Okay, the first one is a 13 to hit. Plus.
Will hit. Which one are you aiming at?
I got too many tabs open. I'm gonna go for this dude right here, right up front.
All right, roll the damage.
Okay, it's 6 plus 10, so it should be 10.
He starts to drop out of the sky.
I'm trying to make sure I have all my die together. Okay, so that is a
Let's say
15, 16, 17
17 to hit or to damage.
to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
6 and 6 damage
Which one?
to this one right next to it.
This one?
I'm trying to make it ping. Yes, that one. Stupid bird people. Eat my arrows.
They are doing. Aldous.
All right. I'm actually going to take my movement action and position myself over the chair so that I'm hiding Sindri.
Yep.
I move my skirts just enough so that she can see where she's going, but then I'm going to aim my Eldritch Blast. I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast on this one and this one.
Sorry, I missed the pings.
Oh, so this one.
Yep.
And this one.
Okay.
All right, and let's see. That's a 19 plus 7 and an 18 plus 7.
Those are both hits.
So that's a 10 plus 4 for 14 for this first one.
Yep.
And that's a 5 plus 4, so 9 for the second one. I was aiming for their wings specifically.
You hear a screech as one goes down in one, the other one's flapping wildly in the air trying to keep up, but it's dropping behind a little as they're definitely not looking good at all. Which brings us back round to the top of the round and to Lucian. If you're done, Aldous?
Yep, I'm done.
Lucian's going to line up the one that's right in front of him here and take another shot with the hand crossbow.
13 will hit.
4 points of piercing damage. And then he'll reload. Bonus action to reload.
Okay. Torvald, you're up. You hear these desperate screech. You can hear those of you who are fairly perceptive, so particularly, I can't remember what Lucian is, but Adair and Torvald, you hear this from the screech, one of these Arakuka gave out an echoing screech from up above higher. And you can see what appears to be another V sweeping in. But they will not quite get their turn yet.
It's another group.
Oh, yes.
Is the same number? Ah,
They like evenness.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
All right. Well,
It's an army.
yeah.
I mean,
Which one of the damaged ones looks in the best shape?
the best shape, probably that one there.
Okay.
It got clipped by Lucian's crossbow.
All right. Torvald's going to he's going to take his shield and he's going to shove it forward, and this concussive wave is just going to go and just hit it, as I told the dead.
Oh, come on. 8. I swear these guys are wise.
I mean, you got to be a 16. It's not like it's easy. All right. 12 necrotic damage.
I'm getting better for making dead bird noises, but I really should have seen this. Yeah. Another one drops.
All right. Torvald, seeing the other group, is going to rush over in front of Adair and kind of hold his shield up, blocking, try to block these couple archers and Adair as much as he can, just kind of get in the way, make himself look big. I mean, it doesn't take much, but
Okay, is that everything, Torvald?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, Ira, you will be up next, but before you go, the second formation. Sweet arrows inwards, heading towards the front of the boat, dropping downwards. And there's another volley of javelins comes forth, and 10 of them, and I believe there are slightly more than 10 of you. So, and say everyone except Lucian and that other archer at the back is going to take one for the sake of evenness. So, Ira, that is a 13. No. There, that is an 8. I swear I am not making these up. I just can't roll for shit. Torvald, that is a 7. I'm running out of d20s here. This is Krasara, that is a 15.
If you run out of d20s, you can roll d10s instead. We'll allow that.
Yep.
And
Just one,
Aldous,
of course.
that is a 19.
Uh-oh.
All right. Yeah, that hits because I'm at a 14.
That is 5 points of piercing damage. You're clipped by this javelin that goes flying past. And whilst I roll against the archers, Ira, it is your turn.
Perfecto. Okay. Ira is going to head over. She saw Aldous just got hit, right? 1, 2,
Yes.
10, 15, 20, 25. Okay. She says, you archers seem to be doing well. I'm going to go to the opposite side of the boat now. And she's going to run across the other side of the boat. Not like actually like D&D run, but get over here.
Yeah.
Next to Aldous. Just be like, oh, I'll protect you from now on. And she will go ahead and cast. Let's see. A little too late, but that's okay. She'll cast Sanctuary.
Thank you.
On
What
Aldous.
does Sanctuary do again?
Until the spell ends, any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack or a harmful spell must first make a wisdom save, and on a failed save, the creature must choose a new target or lose the attacker spell.
Nice.
They
So
suck at
instead
wisdom
of you,
saves.
so instead of you doing more damage, they'll do it to someone else.
Yay.
All right. Is that everything, Ira?
Yes.
All right. Adair, you are next up. But first of all, there's some NPCs and Arakoko. The first arrow of Arakoko, you see it's wheeling round. And as they wheel, seem to be pulling back. Given that half of them are dead. Nearly. And they start wheeling round back away. One of them will fling a passing javelin back towards little Dave.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. He's equipped by it, but he's not dead yet. And the archers start firing a volley towards the new oncoming V. And Adair, it is your turn
I'm going to use
as
one of my
arrows
other-
sail past.
I'm going to use one of my other stones in a sling and go for the one that fired at Little Dave. I've grown fond of Little Dave in the last 2 minutes. Yeah, that's going to be an 11.
That will not hit.
Oh, well. I didn't like Little Dave that much.
Is that everything, Adair?
That is it.
All right, Cressara, you're up. Aldous, you're next.
Right. I'm over here making cheat sheets for my attacks. What have we got? I'm going to move back behind this archer just a bit. And I'm going to grab my bow and I'm going to take aim. Muttering the whole time in Primordial because these guys are bugging me. And I'm going to attack the leader, the little guy right up front. I can make
This
that.
one.
Yes. I could just make it ping.
Fine.
Roll 20 does not like me.
If
Talking
I'd
about
been more
ones on the south side of the boat or the north side of the boat?
Outside.
Okay.
Make sure you've selected the arrow rather than the measuring for your.
No, if I was more prepared, I would have numbered them, but a lot of them, so I didn't.
Okay, then.
And numbered by their place in the formation. Like we've got
So
the
that's
individual-
first one of 15
That will
to
hit.
hit. Perfect.
Yeah, that-
11, and that will be 11 damage as I draw my bow, string my arrow, and let her fly.
The squawk, the leader drops from the sky.
All right, and then I'm going to target. It's still not pinging, even though I hit. It hates me. Whatever.
That one
Yes.
or the other one?
Perfect. That one, whichever one rings, that's
Okay.
fine. Then I'm going to aim for that one right there. And preferably, I'm going to try to hit it in the face. 20, that is a dirty, well, almost 21, so.
That will hit.
Perfect. 11, so that will be 11 damage.
There's another
Right through the eye.
squawking screech.
Perfect.
All right. Is that everything, Cressara?
Yeah, that's good. I'm just
All
waiting
right,
on the next
Aldous,
one.
you're up. Lucian up next after Aldous.
All right. So I am actually not going to take my attention away from the fleeing ones. And I am going to aim for the two that are uninjured
Just to,
up here.
just be careful. Sanctuary only lasts until you cast. If you attack the enemy, you lose Sanctuary. Just to let you know. Sidebar.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Unfortunately, I am needed for my magic. I am sorry. So I am going to still cast at the two uninjured that have started their retreat.
Yep.
Aiming for their wings. The first one is a 13 plus 7.
That'll hit.
And the second one is a 7 plus 7, so a 14.
Yep, those will both hit.
So that's a 6 plus 4 and an 8 plus 4. So that's a 10 and 12 damage.
You hear two screeching shrieks as the retreating Aarakocra just start dropping from the sky.
Nice shot, Aldous.
Thanks. Adair, if you need my bow, it's right there.
He's got his magical stone thingies.
I'm afraid that I wouldn't be much good with them.
All right.
All right. That's it. I
Lucian,
stay exactly where I'm at to cover
Lucian,
give,
you're up.
shelter.
Torvald, you're next.
Lucian's going to move up here. Gonna look at these are just correct. These are all fleeing, right? These
Retreating.
are retreating. Yes.
Tactically retreating,
Tactical
actually.
He's gonna look at them and pull out his lute and play a tiny soft and cast hypnotic pattern at them.
Mm-mm.
Oh no.
So
Yeah.
they have to make a DC 14 wisdom save.
Of course, it's wisdom. One of them succeeds.
Hey, I guess.
The others are charmed by me for
They just they stop flying away and just start staring at the pretty lights, just in midair. It's like,
and I point to the other group and I say, attack.
okay, they're not hypnotic pattern. They're not under your control.
Oh no, they're just charmed. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're just staring at the pretty lights. They're not under your control.
Cool.
They're just kind of staring gormlessly at this pretty light, dropping slowly from the sky because
Take out the one.
gormlessly.
I'll say take out the one I didn't get.
Okay. I'm going to mark for the lucky Arak. The lucky Arakocker. Yeah, so they are staring at the pretty lights, and that brings us to Torvald's turn.
So Torvald, seeing the one that's not looking at the pretty lights, is gonna say, "Hey, look at this one!" And you're just gonna see this this spark right near its head, and it's just gonna explode as he tolls the dead right next to his ear there. What you got?
I got
No.
a 17.
It passes.
I did.
Whoa. You just do you just do special effects on the thing because you passed the wisdom save?
No, that's the pretty lights.
Oh, okay.
Also, I realized I could do it, so
Well, I gave it my best shot.
that one Arakoka just starting to fly away. Is that everything, Torvald?
Yep, that's everything. He's just gonna keep like with his shield up, trying to, look intimidating.
Okay, the second V, a little battered, having lost some of its members. New ones, as those ones are dropping down out the sky. The remaining ones sort of pulling forward to keep the formation, and they loose another volley of javelins. So, Adair, that is 10. Torvald, that's a 15. Prisara, that is a 10. And Ira, that is a 13. And Aldous, that is a 20.
I'm hit.
Wait,
20 on Aldous.
your AC is only
Yes.
10?
Yes.
All right, that definitely hits.
Sorry, Aldous. The dice don't seem to be on your side today. Like, I'm really sorry.
Your AC is only 10, Adair?
Yes.
Why didn't you take up?
I answered you. You were kind of, I'm not going to argue with you, Lucian.
Adair, that is 8 points of piercing damage. Aldous, that is 7. As these volley, and you hear a yelp as one of the archers, I'm gonna say it is Ernst, drops down the deck skewered by one of these javelins. And the V swoops. I've kidnapped Kasara.
Oh,
The V swoops past and then wheels around. Whee! They're quite maneuverable. I'm just going to move these dead ones because they've dropped out of the sky and they're cluttering up my battle map. And that brings us to Ira.
Ira's gonna look at Aldous disappointed. She was like, I'm sorry, Sanctuary didn't work. Well, I mean, I guess it did, but it didn't work when it was supposed to.
It's
And
fine.
then-
We need to just focus.
Okay.
If you need the bow and arrow, it's over there.
Oh, okay. I will attempt to use a bow and arrow. Let me.
Other
me
way,
see.
dear.
Yes. Okay. Where was the bow and arrow sit down?
It was right next to me, next to the chair.
Great. So I will go ahead and move and grab it. And then she'll use a bow. What is
3 plus your dex modifier
fantastic?
is to hit,
Okay.
and then your
Great.
dex modifier is damage. And you can use your extra attack for that too.
Fantastic. Well, I got a 9 to hit.
That will not hit.
Cool. And then I'll try again. And I got a 12 to hit.
That will hit.
Ooh, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, and I was just focusing on whoever was closest because
Yep.
Yep. Fantastic. And then what is the extra damage? I'll add a bow to my inventory after this.
D8 plus dex.
Ooh, okay. Where is my D8?
And that one is specifically a short bow.
Oh, okay. I was doing longbow, but short bow is a D6 plus, I think.
D6?
I think it's a D6. Yeah.
Great. I got a 1. So plus dex, I did 2 damage.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Better than nothing.
I did it.
Damaged, yeah.
I did it.
Mhm.
I shot a bow.
All right. Do the charmed ones get any saving throw, or are they just out?
Let me double check.
Meanwhile, the lucky Aarakocra disappears off into
Wait,
the cloud and snow. Off.
I mean,
out of sight.
How far? How far out is their flying speed?
Their flying speed is 50 feet. They are dashing away. So
So it's
they're an
just
additional
out of my
100
range.
feet out of. You can't see them anymore through the snow and the.
Okay, because my range for my Eldritch Blast is
yeah.
120.
You can very vaguely just make them out, but you'd have disadvantage to hit them at this because it is still snowing, if you remember.
The spell ends for any affected creature if it takes any damage or if someone else uses an action to shake the creature out of its stupor.
Okay, they are just there. They are looking at the pretty lights. And
Do you say anything about them at all?
I said, if you're going to attack them, you better kill them.
the archers fly towards the still active V of Aarakocra. And Adair, it is your turn, and Krasara, you will be up next after Adair.
Yeah.
Yes.
You said some things earlier that made a question come to my mind. What can I use as a base, as ground for my entangle spell?
You can use the boat.
Okay.
The sky is not ground.
No, it is not.
What?
But I'm going to go a little Jack Sparrow here. If I happen to have some dirt and other things in a pouch, does that count?
I got a jar of dirt.
So you want to throw the dirt in that direction, then use that to...
Cast Entangle, yes.
I'm going to say you need the ground for Entangle, because
Okay.
it's deliberately making difficult terrain out of the ground, and
Right.
it does specifically say sprout from the ground. I
know
like
it
your
does,
thinking
and
there.
And when you said boat,
But-
I said I have to ask and see. So.
Yes, the boat counts as ground. I'm going to rule that a jar of dirt does not. I'm very sorry.
Sorry, folks, I tried. In that
That's
case,
alright.
I'm going to use the last of my magic stones and go for the one that's at the point of the
That made me feel
inbound
mean.
arrow. I miss. Nat
Is that
one.
everything?
It's a
Okay,
nat
yeah,
one.
you miss. Chrysara, can you do any better?
Of course.
You didn't have to say it that way.
Of course, duh.
Oh, I'm gonna whip around and go right in between these two and yell, Adair, I don't think throwing dirt at them is gonna help. And I'm going. I'm
It's
gonna
Kusara, the Bobarian.
aim. Let me show you how it's done, and aim for the one at the point. There.
Okay.
It's still not pinging. Okay, that's a dirty 20.
That will hit.
Perfect. 5, 7, 8 damage.
Chicken kebabs.
It is skewered on a javelin.
Right, and the second one, that is a not gonna hit. That's a 5.
No, that will not hit.
Wait, how'd you get a 5? Don't you have a +5 to your attack?
Oh shit! Duh, that's a 10.
Still
I
won't
didn't. I'm
hit. But
stupid.
don't... Sorry, a
You are
seagull
not
just flew past.
stupid.
A large seagull just flew past my window. It was.
I was like, "What are you yelling at?"
It's a bird person.
It's a bird
Get it.
person.
Seagulls want to help us.
Oh.
But
Well,
yes,
His name
Aldous,
is Jonathan. Jonathan Livingston.
Oh, no.
All right.
Aldous, it's your turn.
All right.
Lucian, you're next.
I am going to aim at this. Oh, I'm not. There we go. I'm going to aim at this one and at this one for their wings. Also, again, casting the sparkly, swirly green Eldritch Blast. 10 plus 7 and a 10.
10 will not hit, but the 17 will.
That's a 5 damage. 5 force damage.
It's flapping, struggling, like one wing clutched to chest, flying in circles, but knocking books off the desk, but not dead yet.
Awesome.
Is that everything?
Yes. I'm
Yes.
actually going to crouch down just a little bit so that I'm hidden a little bit by the back
Yeah.
of the chair.
All right, you've got half cover. Lucian, you're up.
Yep.
Torvald, you're next.
Look at, kind of assess it, and he's going to move back in this direction and take a shot at this one here with the hand crossbow.
All right,
22 to hit,
that will hit.
9 points of piercing damage.
There is a screech as yet another one starts falling.
Then, like before, I will bonus action reload.
You don't actually have to use any actions to reload a crossbow. It doesn't have the reloading property, just loading.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Just a heads up, in case you want to use your bonus action, because I know you have stuff you
Yeah,
can do on
you
it.
can use your bonus action for other things.
Yeah.
You just can't use it to fire another crossbow bolt. All right, Torvald.
All right. Torvald's gonna take aim at the best looking, the most attractive bird person out there.
That is that one there.
What would you say it was?
Back of the V, back.
Well, the
this one.
best looking injured one, like the best looking one that's already been
Okay.
injured.
That one there, she's quite a charming looking bird person.
All right.
You asked.
9
9
on the
necrotic.
bird person.
Oh,
Torvald hitting
is
on
that
the
tolling?
bird
That's
person.
tolling the dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think he's just at this point. My dice here, wisdom saving throw, and
Hey, you passed the 1, and the 1 got away, and I feel
Oh,
like that's
yes.
gonna screw us over. So
you hear this shriek as this bird, like necrotic energy is breathing through it, starts to fall. Is that everything, Torvald?
His goose was cooked.
yeah, unless I can like use a bonus action to check out this guy that got taken out or something. Take a look at him real quick.
Take a look at him. You can make. I'll let you do medicine as a bonus action.
Okay.
How many minutes ago was it? To just check their condition.
Okay. Let's see.
Your medicine check.
That's gonna be a what do I have? 18.
They are not stable, but not dead yet.
Okay.
You'd say they're about two doses of unluckiness away from death.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. That'll be my turn there.
All right. You hear a screech, not pain screech, but kind of, it sounds like language, but I don't think any of you speak Arakocra.
No.
It's always worth checking. And they start to turn around in the air and they seem to be retreating, forming up and heading away.
Are they bunching up like that for realsies?
Yes. It's difficult flying conditions. You get the idea they're trying to stick close together so they don't lose each other. But as they're flying away, I'll say they get to about there. And Ira, you're up.
Yes, go away. Perfect. And
No, we can't let them get away.
are you
They'll
sure?
notify people.
Well, one already got away, so we're pretty screwed already.
Great. Well, then I'll just make sure we're less screwed. And then, who looks the most injured around me? Oh no! I just scratched my war paint. Now there's red all over my hands.
I mean, the most injured is
Archer.
Ernst, who's the
Well,
archer,
he's dead.
who's down
yes.
on the ground.
He's not dead yet.
Oh, is he not dead yet?
I'm feeling better.
Great.
Happy.
Okay, if he's still just casually bleeding out, I will go ahead and use lay on hands. For I'll do 10.
Whoa, I feel much better.
Good. Great. Less screwed. And that's Ira's turn.
I think I almost died there.
I agree.
Alright, the archers go, are we firing on the retreating ones?
If you can hit them.
Yes.
Alright, form up, and fire! And they up a volley, and you hear a screech as one of them is hit enough to take them down. But the other arrows don't seem to cause enough damage to kill anyone. And Adair, you've got 3 Aarakocra staring at pretty lights. the other formation retreating, what would you like to do?
I'm going to take one of the javelins that I have and hand it to. If that's going to count as my action or not.
Oh, that's free. You can still got an action if you want it.
I'm going to, the first time ever, try to throw a javelin, and how horribly I do at it. I'm going to aim at one of them that's staring at the sparkly lights.
Use your legs.
Wait, cast a net. We can get information from them.
Who's a net? I don't have a net.
there are nets on the board.
We have several.
At least 4.
Yeah. Hold on just a moment. Let me...
How's he gonna throw a net? Like, how far is that? 40 feet?
I know, that's what I'm looking it up right now.
Need one of these, one of them.
40 feet is a long way to throw a net.
I
Y'all
thought you were talking
are
about the
thinking
net-
way too hard.
Yeah,
Or the
range on a
nearby
net
ones.
range on a net is 15 feet.
I think
Yeah,
they
so
mean
you could
Then we can tell
Sounds
Sindri to
about right.
move closer.
hit
Trap
one
me.
of the pretty
Just for
light
fun.
staring
I mean, yeah,
ones.
if I moved up to the edge of the boat, I could try and see if I could get one of them.
Well,
What if
we
you
can
tie it
ask.
to an arrow?
yeah, strong ass arrow.
All right, this is all happening in 6 seconds. Remember?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I'm the slowdown is me reading, so I can go, hey, wait a minute,
Yeah,
what does this
that's it.
really mean? So I apologize for that delay.
I'm gonna say you can hit this nearest one with a net, and if you can hit them with a net.
I'm going to just say no, I wouldn't be any good with that, and I'm going to throw the javelin. Because trust me, it takes dexterity, and you don't want me doing anything with my dexterity modifier. That is a 14 with the javelin.
That will hit.
Right? Come on,
My
D6.
question is, does it only break the spell on the one that he hits?
Only on the one.
Perfect.
Which one are you aiming at again?
The closest one to me.
This one?
Yeah.
Or one of the
And-
fleeing ones?
And that will be 6.
Okay, because if it's one of the ones in the sparkly lights, you think you did have an advantage on that. But
Well, I mean, maybe I'll get a nat 20. Who knows?
I mean, it won't make any difference
No.
because they are dead.
Okay, well, then who cares? But anyway, I got a 19, which was actually a
So
decent roll.
you
so I
watch
feel
as
pretty
one
good about
falls
that.
out, like still staring up. Like you hear this shriek of alarm as it falls, where its companions are still there. Lights, pretty lights.
I was gonna high five Adair and be like, "Isn't ranged fun?"
Only when you hit. So, Chrysara, you now have one.
Chrysara,
Javelin.
it is your turn.
I'm now calling this the crow lidoscope.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Okay. Anyway, you sure you don't want this? And I'm just gonna set it next to me, and I'm pulling out my longbow again because I'm doing not too shabby with it today. And I am going to, I've been using my longbow this whole time. Go to the edge here, and this one little straggler by himself, I'm going to take aim and let loose an arrow. So that's a 13.
That will hit.
Yes. 8 damage.
Already injured from earlier, and 8 is enough.
Awesome. And then this one on the right, I'm going to take aim. That is a 12.
That will hit.
Yes.
Roll damage. You have pretty much obliterated 2 formations of these.
That's 7 damage.
Again, it was hit earlier. It was. You can just watch as someone down below is getting a nasty shock.
Ah!
As dead bird
Alright.
people just thud, thud, thud into
It's-
the ground, into the snowy ground.
It's raining bird people.
Is that everything, Chrysara?
That is it for now.
All right, Aldous.
I am going to tell Sindri to maneuver the boat closer to the distracted bird people right here.
Okay.
So that we can try to capture at least one of them. And then while she's doing that, I am going to aim Eldritch Blast at these two up here, aiming again for their wings. So the uninjured one, I'm going to hit with a 14 plus 7. And
that will hit.
And the injured one, I'm going to hit with a 2 plus 7, which will not hit.
That will not hit, no.
So that's a 3 plus 4, so that's 7 damage for
injured,
this one.
But not dead.
Okay.
Lucian.
I don't know if Lucian doesn't think he has anything that can reach.
The boat's floating. I mean, the chair's floating.
Your crossbow will reach.
Oh,
It'll just
I
be
lost the chair.
disadvantage.
Hang on. Come on, get back in the boat.
I think their AC is 12.
Right. I'll try and take a disadvantage shot at this one.
Okay.
Oh, hey. 22 to hit.
Oh, jeez.
22 still hits, yes.
Rolled a nat 20, but on the first one, but that's 7 points of piercing damage.
Luckily, you don't need a nat 20 in this case. You hear it. As another bird drops.
And yeah, that'll be my turn.
All right. This battle seems to be coming to an end. Torvald, you can see there's one still trying to flee away, and 2 more still flapping.
Yep.
Dazed.
So Torvald's going to take aim, and he's going to shoot a bolt as it's leaving right next to its head as it explodes for a Toll the Dead.
Yes.
What?
Natural 20 on its wisdom save, so 21.
Oh. Well,
I'm
then
naming you Lucky Aarakocra
miss.
number 2.
lucky Eric Hogan. And Torvald's just going to kind of shrug. Oh. And that's my turn, I guess.
And this one flies off into the distance as fast as its little wings, or quite big wings, can carry it.
Injured wings.
Caw-caw.
Injured wings. Don't forget.
Injured wings, but still.
Torvald's very disappointed that he's the one who missed on the 2 that got away.
Which
We're disappointed with you too.
is you pulling the boat
Thanks.
up
It's
near
helpful.
these 2 sort of dazed, flapping ones. If you're still fighting, Ira, it is your turn. Depending on what you want to do here.
Ira will not continue to fight.
The archers are looking around at you lot for command, like, shoot them.
Yeah, you guys can shoot, but I'm bad at it. Who needs healing?
Try to capture at least one of them. There's nets.
Okay. Ira will try.
Anybody. I'm a little too far away at the moment.
Ira will try.
Okay, nets is dice plus dex.
Good question.
It is, yes.
Let me search the net to find out.
Whoa. Sorry, I'm competing with my cat to be able to roll my dice, but he's very desperate to be doing it himself. Sir? Sir? My dice.
Roll.
Okay. Yes.
Your dice.
No, Kitty, these are my dice.
Let's see. So it's just dex.
Dex and proficiency, if you're proficient. It's
In
a
net?
martial
Martial
ranged weapons, which you
Oh,
should
okay.
You should be, yeah.
as a paladin.
Yes,
all
I
martial
am.
weapons. Yeah. So it'd be 3 plus your dex.
Okay. I got a 14 then.
Yeah, so you have got one. You're able to pull one now, flapping frantically as the net being netted has woken it up from the pretty lights. As you go, "Ah, ah, ah," in bird language.
Oh, okay.
The other
Am
one
I still able to do an extra attack after using the net?
The net has.
Does that count as an attack?
It does.
Is it
It doesn't have. Yeah, it's an attack, and it doesn't
Yeah.
have any. It doesn't have any restrictions that.
Yeah, if
make
you've got
me
another
to
net,
use.
you can do it, or you can stab it, or you've
no,
got another
no.
attack.
When you use an action, bonus action, or reaction to attack with a net, you can make only one attack, regardless
Okay.
of the number of attacks. So.
Got
Thank
it.
you.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Great.
Okay.
That's it then for me.
The archers are sort of looking to you lot for command, but they're sort of holding their attack for now. Adair.
Okay, the world just shook.
It's fine. We're
Is
going to
everybody-
break in a minute.
Is everybody back? Okay, everybody's back.
Yeah.
I'm going to not do anything because I would not be helpful at this point. I'm gonna pass on and grab the other one.
Okay. Both you're the DM at the moment, so what?
So the last one snaps out of its stupor and comes over and starts showering us with gifts. It has a bag of holding, and it just starts throwing magical weapons and armor at us. And it's so grateful that we didn't kill it.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So, and then back in the real world, the serious real world of aerial battles and flying bird people. Are you doing? Is anyone basically?
Are we trying to capture the second one, or
Are you trying to capture the second one? Because essentially, I think all of you now get a turn before it. So I'm going to say, if you would like to have captured it, you plus all your archers.
Yeah. Well, Torvald will try to
Yeah.
cast a net, I guess.
So
Would you like me to roll for it?
yes, you know.
I don't know if I'm not. I don't think I'm proficient in all martial weapons, though. I'm only proficient. Oh no, I am. Yeah, I am. All right.
During this, I'm going to.
Torvald picks up the net and just gets all tangled in it.
Well, you managed
What am I
to
doing with this thing?
wake the Aarakocra up, but without catching it, and it is now flapping free.
Okay. Who's next?
It's going
I
to try
didn't
and
take
escape.
my turn.
Yeah, you can try and take it.
I
shoot it
am
as
going to try to shoot it with my Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, go for it.
And it's the only one now present aside from the one that's now on the boat.
Yeah.
All right. So in this case, I'm going to aim both of my bolts at it. 14 and
Yep.
Okay. Okay, 14 hits. That's an 8 plus 4, so 12.
All right, the last one goes plummeting down. You have one terrified looking Aarakocra now on the deck of your boat, the deck of your boat, looking up at you with fear in its eyes.
I imagine none of you know how to speak.
I say the snow billowing around you, and we will come back to the situation after break. Because I think this is. Okay, so having brought down 2 formations of the opposing army, you now have one captive Aarakocra. I always can't pronounce this right.
Aarakocra.
Aarakocra. I'm sticking with that because it's like cockerels.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
On your boat, tangled in a net, flapping and get off. You go. No. Let me go.
Lucian just walks up and says, "We can. Or you can tell us some stuff."
sorry. My common shit.
Where can we bring the boat without getting attacked?
Do you speak bird?
This is the only bird I know.
Actually, does anybody know Speak Bird? Speak with
What
animals?
are the Aarakocra
It's not
in this
an animal.
case considered to be?
They are humanoid.
Nope. No luck whatsoever.
Eric Cochran is his own language.
And he starts muttering something away, and then he seems sort of and then goes and then says, "Do you speak Auran?" He says in in Auran, which I believe Ira,
Do I speak what?
the primordial language of air.
Yes, I do absolutely speak that.
We did it, guys. There's a
See,
language
sort of-
in common.
Common ground.
Leave it to the earheads.
Oh.
Bird.
Grr. Grr, grr, grr. You don't know your parents, grr.
All right.
And with that, Adair cries and jumps off the edge of the ship.
Don't make me
Just
cast.
don't bring up
fly.
his parents.
You have a
Great. So Ira will be like, roughly.
Okay, that was an incredible long shot. I didn't think that would work.
Me either. I forgot I knew this language, to be honest.
gonna cast comprehend.
Okay, so you can understand what's going on in this conversation. Okay, look, I'm gonna be totally honest. I didn't quite catch all of what he says, but I think he was threatening me, right? Look.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, he was.
okay.
Not for a bad reason though. He was threatening you because we are just needing information. We have this big boat, right? Pretty cool, and we need somewhere to put it. Where can we put it and it be safe from like you guys, the
on
bad
the
guys?
ground.
You are the bad guys, right? Just to confirm, I've been kind of confused in this whole war situation.
No, we're not the bad guys.
Oh, hey, they say they're not the bad guys, and I'll say that in common.
Of course they
Of course
don't.
they're gonna say they're not the bad guys.
They
Should I
attacked
should
the
I
Think
say
they'd
that?
say.
Ira, can you translate for me?
Sure.
I can understand his answers. I just can't communicate to him.
Sure.
Tell him I will pluck every feather from him unless he tells us a safe place to land on the fortress.
And his
Mr.
mother
Bird
too.
Person. Mr. Bird Person.
Make your mother pluck her.
From what I understand, we are also not the bad guys, which means we're one and the same, and we need a place to put our boat. Pretty please.
On the fortress.
On the
This will
flying
be
rock.
persuasion because you're going for the nice, pretty please here rather than the passing on the threats to pluck them.
Perfection.
My giving her the words to say, does that give her advantage as an assist?
No. Because you are not assisting her in the persuasion. You would be essentially you were trying to intimidate. She's turned it into a more persuasive attempt.
Great. And we all know how my persuasion goes, based off of
Torvald's
my
gonna
interactions
shake-
with the bag.
He's gonna shake his head and say, "Thunder to help her," and cast guidance.
Guidance
I
is
mean,
a
you didn't
D4.
know she was. You don't know what she's saying. Oh no.
Okay.
The spell. I don't have to know what she's saying.
You have to know that, like, you don't know that she's attempting to do anything at this point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does that matter?
Yes, you can't guidance when you don't know what they're doing.
I guide you in whatever you put your mind to.
It's just a spell. Not like
I
I'm
got-
actually guiding her with wisdom.
I got okay, so I got a 10.
Look, I'm gonna be totally honest. Like, I have no idea how this flying boat deal goes. Just look, you could probably land it like on the roof or outside the wall.
We just
Look.
don't really want to be seen.
I'll land it. Can you land it upside down on the bottom?
That'd be really fun. Hey,
Um,
can we land our ship upside down? Just curious.
You have never tried.
We could try.
Like on the bottom of the fortress, maybe?
Well, I mean, we have the ability to, that's going to be a special kind of maneuver, and Sindri can't do those.
Well, just
So
put the spider hat on Sindri. Right?
Spider cat, spider cat.
Wait, would that work?
You don't know. It might.
I don't think that's necessary. We don't have to actually flip the boat
look.
upside down.
Lucy goes back up.
Please.
Oh, bless you, bless you, bless you.
Sorry.
Nice, lovely blue lady. For the sake of all the winds, we've got something in common here.
Yes.
We like air. You
Yes.
speak the language of air. Just please
Yes.
let me go. I don't want to die.
Let me consult with
I should have joined the messenger service. I should never have joined the army. This was a terrible decision. Just please.
I'm so
Please.
sorry. Did you know there's a place called Sorlinsby? And if you are feeling like down on your luck, like need somewhere to go where everyone else is kind of like, not accepted in their normal places and maybe feel pressured to join the army, you can go there and live there. And I've got a bunch of friends there and they're all protected and they all get to be like weird together like you.
I have no idea. I'm not weird. I'm a perfectly normal flying eagle person.
Sure, whatever you say. Anyways, she'll turn back to everyone else. Can we let this person go or do we need more information?
1 second.
Sure.
Do you understand Common better than you speak it?
A little.
Okay. I will speak Common. You can respond in whatever language you choose.
That
Where
was a yes.
is there somewhere on the side of the fortress we can get out that does not have lots of soldiers?
The thing with soldiers is they have a tendency to move. So like when we left the fortress, I think that was thunder. I don't know if it was
Corvold.
It sounded like
so when we left, everyone was like preparing to like making prep to attack the city. They had guards on the walls, but like there's like a fortress on a big rock. I think there's a couple of gates in the walls, but most people like land on the roof and then go down the stairs. But like the guards, they move.
Are there any spots the war machines can't hit from?
Inside the fortress?
Outside?
Hey, Lucian.
No, I said they can't hit inside. They aim to the outside of it.
Hey, Lucian. What about those machines that help the fortress fly? Where are the things for that?
I don't know if this creature will know.
He turns to Ivan and goes, "Can you please just tell your friends, like, I'm alone. My job is to fly around and throw spears at things. Like, I'm gonna be really honest, as I don't know the like major schemes of everything. They don't tell us shit."
Who can we talk to that does know?
One of the majors, or the guy in charge, the captain, or like my captain, and he looks downwards off the side of the boat. or the captain of the other flying squadron looks down off the boat again.
Oh, okay.
Like, honestly, like, this... I'm still in training.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's okay. I consider myself in training. I think everyone is in training all their lives. You know, you're really continuing to be a work in progress no matter what you go through.
This is my
So-
first battle.
Oh my God.
It was not, I did not know. It was horrible.
I've never been in a war before. This is crazy. We should be friends.
Okay,
I'm telling
can
you,
just tell your
Sorlin's
friend, like, yeah, I don't... There's, like, walls around it, and there's, like, guard machines on the walls, but
Okay.
they're really cagey about how everything works and how everything's run.
Why should
Sure.
we keep you alive?
Because I am... I've run out of javelins, and there's only one of me, and there's lots of you.
We're
And I
friends.
promise...
Keep flying that way. If we see you turn, we're taking you down. And just keep going until you're tired.
Until you hit Sorlinsby. Great place to live. 10 out of 10.
Ask them why they're attacking the squirrels.
Oh, what is your vendetta against squirrels? Other than the fact that you are predatory birds.
Oh, so the Empire is bringing their imperial justice and peace to the lands of Telefen.
Oh,
'Cause-
lovely.
yeah.
Okay. Apparently it's the Empire's way of peace.
By
It's
killing people
squirrel
and taking
death.
their land from them.
Yes.
All makes
Okay,
sense.
that makes them the bad guys.
That's very
Let
British.
him-
Considering
We are
they got-
Vikings.
Let him go.
We call it Pax Eldonia.
Beautiful.
Dun, dun,
Let him
dun,
go
dun.
before I decide to share in their brand of peace.
Ah, okay,
Honestly, he shouldn't be let go.
Can we eat him?
Where's
He looks like a chicken.
They already.
I told him
I-
he could go to Sorlinsby.
They
I
already
turned to Sindri and mentally, do you want to taste what a bird person
Yes.
tastes like?
Yes. I've had fish person. I want to eat bird person.
I love this
I
cat.
am going to size up the Arakrakra.
Whoa, I didn't know you were into that.
How damaged is he?
His feathers
Um,
is a thing.
Reasonably damaged. Like, I can't remember what they got hit by. I think probably an arrow. Definitely, there's blood like from one arrow sticking into one wing. They don't look particularly tough.
We're not killing a prisoner of war. That makes us no better than them.
They're on training. This is their first battle. I think we should let them go. And they said we could kidnap like a mage or something and talk to them.
And they're pretty weak. I mean,
They know
even
we're
if they healed, it wouldn't be much
Yes,
of a match
they
for
know
us.
we're coming, but another person who knows exactly what we're capable of.
That's why we're telling him to fly the other direction.
And we're in the middle of the storm. After a while, we can't see if he changes direction.
Look! I swear on the eight maidens of the winds and all the
Oh,
gods.
he swore on the winds, and that's a big deal.
That I will leave and not tell on you and
I
look,
think we should
honestly,
believe him.
you're all pretty tough and scary. I've got a cousin at a temple. I could go there. Or I can try and find this mystical Thorlinsby.
Yes. Bring your cousin. All the merrier.
You're gonna find out it's full of eagle people as well as the ravens by the time you get back at this room.
Yes.
Okay, so did he say all of that in the wind
He said that
speech?
wind speech,
or-
so Ira could understand
Mhm.
because he doesn't speak very good common. But so-
I think we should just let him go, guys. Swore on the wind. That's a big deal.
Let him go.
No one would ever break the wind, promise.
See, he's even yelping in fear.
But how do we know he won't change directions? I mean, he could easily be lying.
I mean,
I
so
don't
could
think
we.
it's a big deal either way. Like we said, he's very weak, and someone already got away, so they already know we're coming.
Does he have anything we can take?
I don't think so.
Mr. Bird Person, sir. Do you have any valuables that you're willing to give up?
Well, I have my uniform tabard. I have my official uniform belt. I did have some javelins, but I did throw them all at you. Sorry.
That's okay.
Or I dropped them. I think there was a very pretty light. Oh, I've got. When we just found his pouch and his belt, I've got 3 silver pieces.
Your uniform stuff would be helpful, I think, maybe for what distinguishes you as one of them. So maybe we could like sneak in.
Points this. You see, he's wearing this black tabard with an ornate sort of dragon embroidered in it.
Yeah, we could have that if that's okay.
There you go.
Perfect. Okay. I think you're free to go, to be honest. They just really don't trust you, but I think we're friends, so I trust you. And if you break that trust, we won't be friends anymore, and I'll cry.
Sindri, I think we were outnumbered on killing him.
I at least want the money he held up.
It's 3 silver pieces. We're gonna get 7,000 gold if we don't
We got a
die.
tabard, so we can disguise ourselves.
Every piece adds
Go.
up.
Yes, go. Be on your way. Enjoy.
And he flies away as fast as his wings can carry him. And the snow
Well.
billows around.
Well, that was lovely.
I guess we try to go from underneath then. Is that the
Yes.
plan?
I think so.
That's what we agreed upon before taking into the boat.
All right.
We should utilize the cloud cover while we can.
All right.
We better
Sindri,
keep an eye out in case more of them come for us.
So we want a bird's eye view.
You fly onwards
Mhm.
through the snow. Keeping fairly close to the ground, you're flying. You can't very clearly see the ground underneath. You catch glimpses of it, and it looks to be snow-covered fields. And then, those of you, I think this will be probably Adair, Torvald, and I think Lucian as well. You hear a sound coming from not too far away in this snowstorm. You hear a woo, woo, this like horn, and then a sound of almost like the beating of drums and this rhythmic sound and a few shouted snatches. And then, sort of, I guess a gust of wind sort of blows the snow clouds away for a moment. Catch a glimpse of this large, dark shadow heading sort of. So you're heading this way. It's sort of heading this way. This up above. You can't quite see it clearly because there's some snow and cloud in the way. You have a very strong suspicion that you've just found their large floating fortress.
I think you should tell Sindri to follow that.
Torvald kind of pointed out to all this.
Sindri can understand you.
Well, Sindri, follow that fortress thing. Please.
And the boat does a not like a tight pivot, but a slow arc round because you were heading towards it, and now sort of keeping pace beneath this fortress.
Well, do you think you can get closer than that?
And the boat starts to rise upwards. Sindri goes to Aldous, what do you want me to do? Am I listening to the dwarf?
I think we're going to try to use the underside of that rock to get up into the fortress. So we're going to have to try to attach ourselves to the bottom of the rock.
Like, upside down?
I think that might be too complicated, but maybe if we can...
Just, like...
We don't need to. Are you talking in your head, Aldous?
Aldous is not talking in her head, but you're not responding. You're not hearing Sindri respond.
We just need to get close.
We just want to come in from underside. We don't necessarily need to try and find an entrance under the fortress. I just want to keep low to use the clouds for cover. And if we can approach and find a spot where we can get out, great. But I don't know. I will need to get closer to see if we can find a spot like that.
Okay. So, Sindri brings the ship up towards the bottom of this fortress. And you see, as from your perspective, it almost seems like this great rock is looming down slowly and steadily upon you. You can see, Torvald, you have some knowledge of rocks and stones. Due to
You're quite cunning.
yeah, you're quite cunning when it comes to matters of stone.
Yeah.
So you would be able to recognize it. This is not so much carved. It almost looks like it's been torn out of like a solid piece of rock. Like it's been shattered and broken out of like the mountainside or the ground. Like, this whole thing's been ripped free. You can see looming down above you. This jagged descent of rock.
Are we
able
close
to-
enough that we can reach it?
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take some rope here, and I'm gonna climb up and see if I can find any entrances. And if I can, then maybe we can go in that way. If not, I can try to attach the rope somewhere we can climb up from underneath. What do you think of that?
Maybe I should come with you in case you're accosted.
All right, how are you going to climb up the rocks?
On your back, duh.
You expect him to carry you up there?
You're a dwarf. You're pretty hardy and strong, aren't you?
Hardy, yes. Very hardy.
Adair will walk up and...
You do such a good job of disappointing me. It's a talent.
Adair will walk up and say, I could always do the giant spider.
Well, that's going to be up to you now, isn't it?
Say that again.
Giant spider.
Just checking.
Just check. Whoa.
Wait, you can be a
It's a giant
spider.
meatball.
Adair, I have a serious question.
Ignore the DM behind the curtain.
The dwarf planet? Is that what that is?
I have a question, Adair.
Yes.
If
pun
you can
intended.
become a giant spider, does that mean you can create a web that attaches to the boat?
Actually,
Giant
yes.
spider does have webs.
And that could hold the boat for us in a safe place under the fortress so
Oh.
that we don't have to worry about landing it.
I'm afraid you'd have to ask your gods if that would work.
What, as in,
I mean-
can giant spider cast a web? I mean,
That would hold the
Cast
boat
the
in
web that would
place.
hold the boat in place to the fortress.
yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
Your butt rope sounds like a good idea.
Hey, how long would it last?
Well, that depends
I'm
on the
asking.
spider.
I'm asking a dare directly, but indirectly, I'm asking our DM.
It actually does not have a time listed for how long the web lasts, so I don't know.
Basically, it would depend on wind speed, what you do with this fortress. And I'd say if it's just attached, then definitely you get a couple of hours of being securely attached. Like, it's not going to just drop off. This is a magic boat, for starters.
And Sindri, your cat is still going to be here in case it detaches, correct?
With
Sindri,
plenty of fish.
You're going to stay here? Just in case it detaches so that you can prevent the boat from falling?
Yes. Wouldn't want any more of your boats to get stolen.
And
Thank you.
our archers will stay here as well.
Whatever you say, Captain.
That's what
I
I
don't
said.
know why they're pirates now.
Arr.
Yarr.
Okay.
Killing time. Let's go.
Aldous is going to step aside, take out one of her daggers, and actually slice one of her fingers. And say a prayer specifically to the Thunder and Lord Grimm. Thunder and Lord Grimm, please guide us in this specific fight so that we come through this victorious. And she takes the blood and does their symbols on her forehead.
Alright. You just want to get good mileage out of the goat's blood lipstick.
Yes.
When-
That
Yeah.
second one
when
is
the
supposed
warlock
to
is
be a
more
rating.
pious than the cleric.
Yeah, somewhere up there, Thunder is going, so I should choose a new cleric. Like, she's working very hard, and
So Torvald is going to reach up and like grab onto the rock and just start climbing up. And then he's gonna go to like a point where he's standing and just start walking around upside down, looking, trying to figure out based on the way the rock is, if there's any spots that might look like we could get into.
right. Make me an investigation check. And does stone cunning give you? Is it proficiency, or how does that?
Stone cunning is
If you don't have it memorized, it is the most often used and.
I know. You add double your proficiency. You're considered proficient. You add double your proficiency bonus to the check.
Okay, in which case, go for it. Yeah, looking for flaws and stuff in their stone. Go.
Yeah.
So
it
yeah, that'd be
adds-
6 to your intelligence.
Yep. Which is amazing. 7. Actually, no, 6.
It looks pretty solid rock, if you're being honest. There's a bit there. That bit looks like it. No, hang on. No, that would take a few hours of chiseling.
I'm not seeing much here.
You're not very adept at finding secret things, are you? Can I take an investigation look? Just glance around, see if I see anything that looks fake or.
Are you still on the boat, or are you?
Yes, just from my vantage point on the boat.
From your vantage points, that'll just be a straight perception, just trying to look, kind of crane your neck. just about a meter or so, so 3 feet, or so to Torvald's left. Something about the rock there catches your eye as a bit odd. Like, Torvald in his path doesn't seem to have gone over that bit, like, but it's definitely doesn't look quite right.
I cast message to Torvald, say, hey buddy, don't want to embarrass you, but check that rock to your right there.
All right. And here?
And suddenly you reach a point, Torvald, where your hand goes straight through the rock.
Well,
Hey, you did it! Good job! Wow, you found it!
thanks. He says back mentally.
Oh no, yeah, that was out loud. He said that.
Oh.
I said that out loud. But look at you, little sleuth.
You might want to keep it down, Mr. Spy. I can see how you got caught.
I already know we're here.
Well, it looks like we can do something here, so whoever's coming better come quick.
That's what she said.
I hope not.
Just stick your head in there and see what's up.
That's what she said.
Oh. I could see that one coming and it didn't make it any better.
All right. Is Adair going to turn into the spider and spin his web, or no?
If we need to, we will. I didn't follow everything with Sindri unless you came out loud and said it.
Oh
That's
no,
what
I
we
was
wanted to
responding
do.
out loud. So, Sindri's gonna stay here with the boat just in case.
How far up is the place Torvald found from the boat?
Probably about 20 feet or so
Oh, not far.
up this rough, jagged, rocky surface.
So Torvald's gonna try to find a spot where he can fasten a rope. If there's a spot that looks sufficient for doing
You
that.
say on the outside or inside the hole?
Initially outside, and then if he doesn't find anything, he'll take a peek inside.
So around the outside, it's all sort of rough, jagged rock. So if you had like pittons and a hammer with some time, you could perhaps get something secured. But there's no like handles.
Lucian,
Gotcha.
I'll carry you up. And I will
If you-
reach up and giant spider and wait for Lucian to grab hold.
Yeah, if you stick your head inside the hole, Torvald,
I love doing that.
you do see that not far in the inside there is actually screwed into wall. What looks to be a best description would be a handle, like coming out for, or like not so much handle. What's the word I'm looking for? Like a handhold.
The ladder rung.
Not so much a ladder rung as like something you would secure a rope to, like a climber's
Gotcha.
like rope securing thing
So
drilled into the rock.
Torvald will secure the rope there and then drop it down.
All right, the rope's secure.
I'm gonna.
Let me go up first. I can at least try and lie my way through if I get caught.
One moment, I just need something.
Oh.
I got her.
Just needed. I forgot one of the books I needed. Don't mind me.
Is it the monster manual by any chance? What book per se did you just grab? Mordenkainen's Guide for Foes. Okay, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Anyway, so where were we?
Lucian will be taking the lead, climbing up the hole.
Okay.
Oldest will follow eventually.
So once you've passed through like the illusory layer of rock, what you find on the other side is this sloping tunnel. It's sloping upwards, but it is shallow enough that you can sort of, it's not straight upwards climbing, and there's here and there are like handholds chiseled into the rock to give you an extra sort of assistance in climbing up here. It is, quite helpful.
I will keep going until I find a way out of the tunnel.
Does anyone
Okay.
think this might be a bit too convenient?
So my first question is, this is kind of a single file, so what order is everyone in? Isha?
Anyone?
Torvald to go after, I guess.
Yep.
I can go
How
third.
large? How large is the hole?
It's about
Giant spider size?
I would say, is it medium or large?
it's medium. Like a large
Okay.
creature, it'd be a bit of a squeeze for, but could squeeze through.
I don't know. Spiders are pretty flexible.
Yeah, spiders are flexible. Like a spider could get up here.
Not a dare though. He's very inflexible.
I've got Lucian, Torvald, Aldous,
I'll go after Aldous.
Sarah, and then Adair or Ira, who's bringing up the rear.
I'd be at the back.
Okay. Just wanted to note that in case it became relevant.
Adair's at the back.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, then yeah, I'd be right in front of Adair.
As I'm climbing up into, right before I go out of sight in the tunnel, I'm going to mind speak to Sindri and tell her, look for sparkling green lights if we need to get out of here.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I will do. The cat acknowledges.
Mhm.
So, as you're making your way up this tunnel, you notice as you climb further up, you notice two things. First of all, it's growing weirdly cold. Now, bear in mind that you were previously outside in a snowstorm, but it's growing colder. You can feel the frost on the walls. And also you can hear a sound above, a kind of rhythmic... Someone stopped typing now. That's actually the perfect sound. It's rhythmic clatter, clatter, boom, clatter, clatter, boom, from up above your head. And then Lucian at the front. I want you to make me a perception check, actually. Please.
15.
All right.
This would be a situation for my passive perception.
I'd say, I mean, if you're not actively looking at anything, then yes, but the DC will be different if you're not actively looking versus actively looking.
I think right now, probably not. I think he's more just trying to look like, as long as like a way through is clear, he's more focused on that right now.
Okay, so
It's passive.
yeah, it's not. Yeah, I know it's specifically not passive because you have to be looking for it to see it. So, no. In which case, no. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
As you make your way along this stone corridor, and it curves up and round. You can hear this sound getting louder ahead of you, this clunk, 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 clunk. And the corridor stops, and Lucian, you see ahead of you a ladder, rungs rising upwards, up to what appears to be a trapdoor about 10 feet up above your head.
I will climb up and approach the door, checking it to see if there are any sort of traps.
You can make me an investigation if you like. I'm just looking for something. That's why I'm stalling.
25.
Very obviously not trapped, although as you're doing this, you do notice there's movement that would suggest a slight tremor through it, as though something is on the other side of this trapdoor.
We can either look for a different way, or I can try and persuade them that you're not down here. There are people on the other side of this door.
Are you messaging that to Torvald, or are you?
I'm saying that to all of you quietly.
I guess do your best to persuade them.
And get back, so they can't catch you in the door's entryway.
This is a trapdoor, right?
This is a trapdoor up above you.
Okay.
There's no traps on the trapdoor, but it is a trapdoor.
Right.
So you're in this stone corridor that's sloping.
It's a
and
trapdoor, not a trapped door.
Exactly. He gets it.
Got it.
And then there is a short ladder leading up to this trapdoor above you. There's no traps on it, but you can hear there's definitely something moving around on the floor near it. With you.
Just get out of eyesight quickly.
Torvald will move down a little bit.
If they're out of eye line, I will just get through the door. I just not obnoxiously, but not like I'm trying to sneak you there. Just open the door and make my way out.
Okay, so you hear this click, 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 and as you open the door, first of all, you see you are in what appears to be a circular chamber. The floor is stone, the walls are stone. There's 2 narrow windows, and a single door. And by the single door, you see something swiveling around to look at you. It is reaches about 3 feet off the ground, but is this squat, essentially looks most similar to a ballista. There's no one there manning it. It appears to be unattended. But as you open the trapdoor, it swivels round to face you. And you can see on the front of it is mounted this iron, almost like dragon-like head mounted on the front of it. Its eyes glowing. You can see there's cogs and things whirring inside it. And it swivels round.
Can I assume this is the no-made war?
You can definitely assume that, yes. It appears to be some kind of mechanical war machine. And as it swivels round to look at you, you've got that split second instant. The others are still back down below. Hang on. Ignore me for 1 sec. The others are still back down below. This split second instant. As you come up through the trapdoor.
Just raise my hands. Easy now.
And
it shoots headphones at you.
it shoots headphones at you.
Even in my Empire vestments.
Even in your Empire vestments. This is
Okay.
It's got programming.
The Empire Striking Back.
Actually, I'm gonna give it.
Gonna make me go ballistic.
Yeah, no, it still fires.
Okay.
You do notice, actually, just a second, the walls of this room are quite pitted with what looks to be perhaps the damage from crossbow bolts. And there's also a little blood splattered on the floor.
Okay.
As this thing fires towards you. I would like, well, see if you can get anything off first. Roll me initiative, but well, so just
All of
I'll
us or just Lucian?
all of you, but the rest of you are currently down and out of the way. So
20. Oh wait, why did I roll twice? 14. I don't know why I rolled twice.
okay. All right. So 14 for Lucian. I'll add the others in as again. Put it in your Zoom, and I'll get to it when I get to it. Okay. So, as it fires this bolt out towards you, luckily for you, that is an 11 to hit, Lucian.
Misses.
So it misses as this bolt fires off wildly. And yeah, you can see the walls of this room are pitted with the damage of bolts. Either they've have a lot of invasions in this fortress, or they have a slight problem with their gnomish defenses.
Looking at it, does it look like while the automation might be magic, does it look like it still mechanically works like a crossbow, like with the string and gears and whatnot?
It looks to be a common. It's at your brief. You don't have much chance to examine it from your vantage point. There's definitely like a crossbow bolt. There's a string. There's other sorts of. It's got like these little arms at the back, with little pincers on for reloading, and little spikes attached to it. It's like a hodgepodge mixed match design of crossbow meets Robo Wars. So those of you down in the tunnel hear this from up above. Ira, you are near the back, so you'd have to squeeze through if you wanted to get up to Lucian, but you do technically get a chance to act before him. Hey, you hear this sound. If you wish.
I don't. So I'm near the back, and from what I can tell,
Assuming that everyone's got the correct initiatives in the order.
Adair had 19, didn't he?
Oh,
Yes.
yes, sorry. I missed Adair. Adair also would get a chance to do something. You two at the back.
what does Dara do?
I don't know. I think I'm kind of blocking the whole tunnel with my spider butt.
I'll tell you right now, if I feel any spider legs poking me in the back to try to get through, I'm laying flat.
If Adair's not doing anything, Ira won't do anything.
Yeah, I think at the moment,
All right.
I'm just going to try and...
Lucian, you're being faced down by a mad crossbow bolt thrower. What would you like to do? Lucian?
Yeah, sorry. I would like to try and, if I dodge out of the way of the bolt, I'd like to try and make my way towards the mechanism and disrupt it some. If it has like a string, if it has like a crossbow
So
string.
this would essentially be an attack against it. It is a creature. For all purposes and intentions of how combat works, this is a creature.
Okay. Yeah, then I mean I'll attack it. I'll make an attack with the rapier. Does a 12 hit?
No. This thing is well armored. It doesn't seem bothered at all here. You see one of the little arms reaching down to it's like pick up a crossbow bolt from its loader, like as it's reloading itself.
That'll be my turn.
All right, Krasara, you're up next. You were, I think, only a couple of places behind Lucian, down in the tunnel beneath. You hear this sound from up above. What would you like to do?
I think I'm behind Aldous.
Yeah, I'm behind Torvald, who's right up against the trapdoor now. If anybody nudges me to get me out of the way to get past, I will comply.
And Torvald, you'll be up next, just to give you the heads up. You do notice, Lucian, as up in the room, that this thing is bigger than the doorway into this room. Just to point it out, it doesn't look like it would fit through the door. But the door frame is very dinted and damaged.
So I guess we're going in.
Alright. I will squash myself flat so that you can get through.
Torvald will try to get out of the way as best possible too.
Yeah, you're able to. I mean, you're able to get up out the ladder and pop your head up out of this trapdoor.
Yeah, I guess Torvald would just be like on the non-grip side because he doesn't need it. Like the hand, there's like hand holds, right, in the ladder.
Yeah, it's so you got to remember there was the corridor, then there's just a very short ladder leading up here. Like, I'm not gonna make you have to like spend half an hour reorganizing yourself in a corridor.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You can move past and get out into the room should you wish to.
Is it my turn or is Krasara still going?
It's Krasara's turn if she's going, but we'll come back to Krasara in a moment. It's Torvald's turn.
All right. So Torvald will jet up there with his climbing speed being equal to his movement speed. And I guess I pop my head out first and see what I see.
Well, you see this circular room. You see this manically swiveling crossbow bolt thing.
Okay. Do I have enough movement to get over to it?
Yeah, it's only one step forwards. Yeah.
All right. I'll step forward, so I'm right up next to it, and I will have a clap of lightning. I'll basically just smack my shield and toll the dead on it.
That is a 5.
Okay, it hasn't been injured yet, correct?
Nope. It is.
All right. This is going to be 11 necrotic damage.
Okay. And as you're standing there, just make me a quick perception check, actually.
Okay. Whoa. That was weird. Geez, 20. A lot.
So
yeah,
20 a lot will do. As you're standing in this doorway, not only do you notice there's like a cold wind sort of blowing through from the corridor outside, you also hear a voice faintly somewhere say, "Oh, fuck, it's gone off again. We need to get that thing fixed." Yeah, is that everything?
Yep, that's it.
All right. Krasara, are you back? If not, we'll hold Krasara. Oh, no.
Nope, I think I'm good.
Aldous, you will be next, so.
I have 2 dogs for free if anybody wants them. Let's see. So we're going to attack the little thing. I was going to see if I could get my... thing onto the map so I can move, but it doesn't want to. There it goes. Pew. So where did we come in from? Right.
The trapdoor.
The trapdoor. Okay.
The trapdoor in the middle of the floor. This one here.
Okay. So I'm going to go around out of its view. And there. I'm actually going to try to hit it with my crossbow.
Okay,
Or
you're
my
gonna
longbow.
try and shoot the giant crossbow.
Yes.
All right.
Let's see. Just because my aim's been pretty decent, so let's see if I can just hit it and keep going with my luck here. No, well, 5, so that's 18.
18. That is enough. 18's enough. Yeah.
Okay. 20.
This thing is pretty tough, but it's also not actually wearing plate armor because it is armor.
Okay, and then that's 11 damage.
He's completely unbothered by it because it has no emotion. Right, is that everything?
Yes.
Alright, Aldis, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna come out of the hole, and let me pull myself up right there. I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna sneak right behind Chrysara, and I'm going to use Firebolt on it.
Yep.
Trying to snap the cable for the crossbolt on it. $14.
14 does not hit. No. Alright. Before Adair, your turn will be next, but first, this it swivels round to face Chrysara and Aldis. And you watch as this bolt shoots out from it. And this thing is not smart. Luckily, it is genuinely not smart, as this bolt hits the wall behind Aldis. And then you hear a as it explodes. And I need everyone inside that room, including the thing itself, to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh, jeez.
As this is
13.
of an explosion. What's that?
I rolled a 13.
Not good, I'm afraid.
A 12.
Not good.
A
Lucian?
17.
17? Okay, so Lucian, you're taking half damage here.
I'm guessing there's no way an immobile object survived a dexterity save.
Oh, it is a mobile object. It just hasn't moved yet, but it also got a natural one on its dexterity save, so
nice.
no. It's an 8. That is 15 points of fire damage.
15?
15. 7 for Lucian. 1 5. And the thing itself's not looking so great after that. But it goes. It moves. Lucian, it moves away from you. You get an attack opportunity if you want. It seems to be more or less sort of moving at semi at random, slightly jerky movement around the room. Yeah.
22 hit.
That will hit.
5.
Adair, you hear all this going on from up above. What would you like to do?
How big is the door? The trap doorway? Is it something
Big enough
I'm going to be able to
that you can
squeeze
get
through?
a spider can squeeze through it. Yes.
How tall is the ceiling? How far up?
15 feet.
All right. I'm going to kind of come
Yeah,
into
that's
the
a sensible
room
number of feet.
leaping to the ceiling, figuring out, seeing the only thing that doesn't look like somebody I know. I'm going to attempt to bite it.
Okay, I'll get you a spider in just a sec. But roll me an attack.
Ooh, that would be a 20.
That natural 20?
Natural 20 with a +5, so 25.
Well,
That was
roll
lucky.
me some damage.
Hold on, I gotta find my D8. Sorry, I wasn't expecting to hit. And that will be a roll to 3 +3, so 6. What are we doing for the crit?
Twice the dice.
Twice the dice.
So roll me another one.
And so I rolled a 7 there, so that'll be 13 piercing damage. There's also a Constitution saving throw for it against poison damage.
How would you like to take the spider to take down the bolter?
Okay. He's going to come down, grab it right by the front of the bow portion, pick it up, and drop it down onto the floor. Just
It's a cog, and you hear the bow go ping as this thing rattles and crashes apart onto the floor. You are out of initiative, but everyone in that room, and probably those down below might catch. I think it's just Ira down below, unfortunately. Just you catch someone out go, "What the hell was that?"
Nothing. Everything's fine. We're all
Are
good.
you saying that aloud?
Yeah, and I'm assuming it's coming from over here.
Yes.
I would step forward. My bad. My mistake. Sorry about
Okay.
that.
So first of all, we're no longer in initiative. So Ira, you can come out or stay down whenever you wish at this point.
Ira shall join now.
Second of all, Vision, you see a rather startled-looking elven woman in the same black tabard as you, looking down the corridor at you. She is blue-skinned, with a slight few patterns of scaling around her neck, and almost like her pointed ears come down into almost what looks like fins.
Behind Lucian's back, he's just kind of waving everyone to the side, not to be in the entry, like the scene in the entryway. Yeah, no, my mistake. I was down in the tunnels, looking for intruders. There weren't any, by the way, but I came up and totally forgot about the magic ballista.
You forget about that thing. It's killed 3 of us in the last week. Also make me a deception check. As this is going on.
A deception?
Yes, please.
– 14.
She looks at you. She looks back to the room and goes, you sort of crane her neck slightly.
I press myself up against the wall after I've moved out of sight of the door.
Are you alone?
No. You have eyes, don't you? No, clearly half elf.
No, are you alone? Not are you a gnome?
Well, the gnomes made those things. So I mean, like, maybe you were confused thinking I was a gnome, like checking on it. No, well, I am now, but there were, if you believe it or not, there was a giant spider down there that I had to fend off. Whoever was responsible.
What's your name, soldier?
My name?
Yes.
My name?
Yes.
I'm Lieutenant Real Stumbleduck. What do you think? What's your name?
She looks at you.
Are you questioning me, soldier?
And she, Lieutenant.
Who's your commanding officer? Are you really questioning me?
Yes, I'm questioning you. You came out the trapdoor from the exit.
Who is your commanding officer? Because I'm going to write you up for insubordination.
I was assigned here by the captain himself.
Well, he's dead, remember?
No?
Yeah, he was down in Rivermore. Got killed by a spy.
I'm not with the Rivermore lot.
What the hell are you doing here?
I'm with the Flying Fortress garrison, hence on the Flying Fortress. I'm not with. They sent the idiots to Rivermore.
Well, that's true.
Did you hear what happened to there? They got taken out by some random people who turned up in a flying boat.
That's what I told you. That's what I was down there looking for intruders. Do you want to listen? You need to clean out your ears.
And there's no intruders down there. Good. Right. Well, I'm just going to go back. And she starts to step back. I'm just going to go back to my post now. I'm very glad to hear there's no intruders and just spiders down there in the
hand crossbow and shoot at her.
All right. I'm going to give you that one. See if you hit her. And then we'll see you.
No, 11.
11.
So
no. It glances off the wall and she shouts. And bear in mind, there is background noise. There is this rattling background noise, but she shouts. She says, "Help!" And she's shouting in Elvish, "Intruders! Intruders! We're under attack!"
And over this, I'm saying, "Yes, help! The ballista's going crazy!" Just trying to drown out her yelling. Yeah, the ballista! It's going nuts! Help!
And
help.
I need you guys to roll me initiative again. Oh, your deception check wasn't quite good enough to buy that.
I have a
I rolled more
I have a
than
plus
a
9
five.
in deception.
I know. Welcome to my world. I play a bard every time. It's like, can you persuade them? I say, yeah, I got a plus 10.
Question: if I would have asked for advantage, having been in the guard's outfit, would I have gotten it? Too late.
No. I was giving you the opportunity to do the deception because you're in the guard's opportunity thing, as opposed to just being a random person who popped up out the floorboards.
Right.
Yeah. The guards thing gave you that moment of who is this? Whereas
twice, but 15.
15. I mean, you did just pop up out their secret corridor.
Friggin' plus 9 deception.
It never works. This is me as a fellow bard player consolidating. You think you've got it, you've got a good plan, then the dice stab you in the back.
You play to the strength of your character. It doesn't matter.
But you did get a drop on her, and so who is
You
the
threw away your shot.
highest? Is hang on, let's see what she gets. Okay. Wow. Even with this, next up is either Aldous or Chrysara.
Wait, it's not Torvald? I rolled a 0.
No.
That wasn't just make sure. That was my turn, not a surprise attack.
That was your turn.
Do you get a negative initiative? Does that put you at the head of the line for everyone?
No, this is not Civilization.
All right,
But yeah,
Chrysara, are you gonna go or am I gonna go?
And if that was my turn, can I use my movement to get closer to her?
yes, you can.
You can go.
Okay. I am going to move so that I can to right here, so I can peek around the door and shoot her with my my firebolt. If I can see things properly. There we go. So firebolt. 16 plus 7.
That will hit.
2d10.
And Lucian, from your vantage point, you can now see that the corridor you're in, there are what seems to be like ladders leading down to this lower area of the floor. And in the center of it, you can see there's a few people looking up now in your direction from around this large engine thing. And there's something glowing in the center of it. You could hear this whistling wind and almost screaming sound coming from this engine in the center of the room. Aldous, what's the damage?
That's going to be 9 fire damage. I'm trying to stand right here specifically, but because of how the squares are set up, I can't.
Help! We are under attack! Kasara.
I'm gonna move up a little bit, and I'm going to grab my longbow and draw back and try to shoot.
Alright. So move this people I just dumped on the map.
18. That's a 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
6 and 6 damage. Well, that's one problem solved.
And she drops to the ground, sort of clutching her chest, still going. But there is sounds of other people, perhaps having, at least one person maybe having listened to that. But Ira, you, yeah.
Yeah.
What you notice as you come up to this trapdoor, as well as this cold in the air and the sound of this mechanical sound, is you can hear this wailing scream, and you can understand what it's saying. It's saying, "Help! Help! Help! Please help!" over and over and over.
Oh no. Can I pinpoint the direction of that screen?
It sounds to be coming from outside the room, sort of down from the central area
Great.
of the.
Oh, you guys didn't tell me someone was in trouble. And she will take the dash action. And great. Am I allowed? What is this spiky electric-y field?
So
Am I allowed
as
to be
you
here?
come like dashing down.
Yeah, I hear help and I just go,
You are allowed
guys,
to
someone's
be
in trouble. And I just go.
As you come like swarming down this ladder into the center of the room, like the guards and the people in the rooms, like you see them reaching for bows, like looking alarmed, surprised to see you there. And in the center of this room, there's this churning mass of cogs and almost like spikes. And in the center of it, this like the air around it is buffeted. You can feel the wind around you. And in the center of it, twisted and around the cogs in the center, you can see this glow. But as you get closer, you can see it almost seems to be a humanoid form stretched out and pulled out across the cogs and levers of this machine.
Oh. I think there's an elemental in here. We need to help. But I dashed, so I'm just kind of like looking sadly at them. That'll be my turn.
Okay. The guards who have like when you hear one go, "Oh shit, no, we are under attack." And the nearest one sort of pulls her sword and comes rushing through towards Ira. You see them wince a little as they get closer to this machine. And then they pull a blade and they're going to try and stab Ira.
Good luck.
That is a 15.
No.
On
Ira,
this.
I like to imagine Ira is just so focused on this elemental and like other people are coming up and trying to attack her and they just bounce off her armor and she's just like not paying attention. Just like little elemental. People are just like clanging against her armor.
And the other guards, one takes this, like, start running round, forming up. The other are generally avoiding this central area. Can they get here? The two that are nearest that haven't got the machine in the way are going to fire at Ira because she is currently there. The surprise paladin. That is a 17 and a 21.
21 will do it.
That is 4 points of piercing damage.
Nice. She does. She
And-
continues to not notice. You said 4.
Yeah, 4 and Torvald. What would you like to do?
Seeing Ira rush in and yell and stuff like that, he's going to
Shake his head. My
imme-
woman.
he's gonna immediately rush in to help her. And he'll come up next to the one that's already stabbing her, and he'll take his hand and he'll slam it against his shield, and I'll toll the dead on the one right there.
Okay. Wisdom. That is a... Let me just check something very quickly. Please hold.
Out of character, how
Yes?
high up is the flying fortress?
When you boarded it, probably about... Oh, God. How high is a building in feet? Roughly, like one story of a building is
10 feet.
10 feet.
Approximately 10 feet, yeah, for one story.
About 100 feet up in the air then.
Okay. Follow-up
That
question.
that is a 15 on the wisdom.
Based on the time that's elapsed, how close is it to the city?
It would not have reached the city yet.
What
It's
was
still
the
above cabbage fields.
what was
That's
the wisdom?
15.
Okay, it'll fail. 4 necrotic damage.
Okay.
Yay.
And Torvald, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw. As you get
Okay.
closer to this machine, you feel this icy jolt of pain go through you, but depends whether it affects it on Constitution.
All right. That's going to be Constitution is a 10.
That is 1 point of cold damage.
Torvald kind of shivers and takes a step back.
The guards are going to take a swipe at you.
Sure.
They don't know you. That is a 20 to hit.
20 will hit.
Oh, poor soul. That is 5 points of damage for Torvald.
Ouch. And then as they hit, you can see the lightning surge across his body as it goes towards them. It's dexterity saving throw.
Failure. I'm not even going to bother adding the modifiers to that. That was awful.
All right, it's going to take 11 lightning damage.
You're going to go, what the fuck?
And then it'll also knock it back 10 feet.
Okay. It goes backwards.
I think you're out of your league. It'd be wise to not attack us anymore. And that'll be the turn.
And at the end of that turn, you notice the elf on the edge of the crouch calls out to the other, goes, "Don't listen to the dwarf. Hold the engine. We hold the fortress." And she's notably younger than the rest, and looks to be a half elf. And as she's talking, you watch she sort of twists her hand in the air and starts and rises up into the air until she is flying. And the central room, the ceiling's about 25 feet up. She rises up into the air. So she's looking down towards you from above. She goes, "Hold the engine no matter what." And Lucian, up in the corridor. I think that brings us back round to you,
Oh, hey.
with Eldest being next.
He will do a little leap over dead person, make his way in, sees all the commotion, and will run up and make an attack against this person.
All right. One of the guards.
Yes. 18 hit.
Yes.
5 points of piercing damage.
Okay. Traitor.
Just shrugs.
Yes, you're on our side.
And that'll be my turn. Just shrug.
Althus, you're up. Cressari, you're next.
All right. I am going to how tall is this ledge? Or it doesn't matter.
10 feet.
All right, I'll go down the ladder and step just to the side, and I am going to cast my Eldritch Blast, one at her and one at her.
Okay.
+13 +7, that's an unnatural 20 or a dirty 20.
That will hit.
And then a 3 + 7, so that's a 10.
That will not.
10 + 4, that's 14 force.
Okay. Oh, they have a mage. How inconvenient.
She says this?
Yes.
Out loud? All right. Cressara, get your ass in here.
I'm coming.
Inconvenient for you, maybe.
I will come in.
Can we tell who's keeping the engine going?
The engine seems to be keeping itself going.
Okay.
They appear to be guarding the engine.
Gotcha.
That's the elemental.
That is the elemental.
All of the rest of you can hear this screaming. Have I missed a dare out of this order? By the way, I think I missed a dare. Something. Whilst Cressara's stalking the dogs, Adair, take your turn.
I would have just moved into the room and up the wall. as far as I could. So right above where Aldous and Chrysara are.
You got control of the token.
Yeah, I'd just be standing on top of them, so I'm not sure where to put it.
Hang on.
I'll just
Hang
set it
on.
out here in the hallway.
There we
But
go.
I
I
would
can
be
put you to
in
the
the
back
room.
so that you can.
Is that all right?
Yeah, the guard on the ground that who just not got narrowly hit by Aldous' Eldritch Blast look and go, holy fuck, there's spiders?
I told you.
Please tell me at least one of those guards is arachnophobic.
This one is now.
Just
They
so y'all
will-
know, Adair, Tam has changed his Zoom nickname to Spy-Dare instead of Adair. It's very good.
Right. Is that everything there?
Yes, it is.
Kasara,
No, right.
back to you.
We're just gonna have to have a whiny pooch in the background because I can't
That's
get her
fine.
quit.
That's fine.
Alright, so I came busting around this corner, and while I'm on a roll, I'm gonna use my longbow and attempt to hit the mage. And then before my dogs lost their minds, I rolled, and that's a 21 to hit.
I'll hit. You're liking
That-
this longbow.
I love this longbow.
Like, Kasara's an archer now. Like,
that is
Chris
9 points.
Archer,
Chris
Barbarian.
It's 9 points of
Oh.
damage.
okay.
Oh, got her. The next one is 11 to hit.
That will not hit.
Okay, so that one misses. Sad face. And that's it. That's both my attacks. So I will.
And
stand
she says, focus your fire on their mage.
If she says that, then I'll make sure I'm standing in front
Oh
of.
shit.
In front of Aldous.
And if she's standing right in front of me, I will make myself smaller.
You can certainly try to hit her, but if you hit her, I hit you.
Okay, Ira. You're up.
Yes. Okay. So there's an elemental. And is there any kind of I mean, so there's the ballista barrier, right? Well, it's like an engine, right?
It is this churning mass of spikes and cogs and moving parts the elemental seems to be caught up in and part of, it's like trapped within.
Is it
Let me go.
so is there a top to it, or can we just see into it
You
for
can
the map's sake?
You can see into it. It's this token arrangement is more representative than exactly what it is. It's more of this essentially that is the outline of the machine, and you can see this thing in the middle, and it is. You can climb onto the top there. You could get into the inside of it, but as it's all in motion, it's all in movement.
Fantastic. Well, I was gonna try it. Yeah. Sure, why not? Ira will basically try to kind of just grab onto it as it's moving, maybe to slow it down a little bit, and then kind of like try to climb up or like
Okay.
break out it.
Make me an athletics check. I think this is called for athletics to climb, like
Yeah.
force your way in and onto this.
Sure.
It's like things moving around and past you as you try and like force your way into the mechanism.
Fantastic. Yes, 16.
Yeah, you're getting there. You can let me go. I will break.
I'll
this
let you
cage.
go.
Break this
As I'm like
cage.
brutishly climbing this.
Break this cage, and you will be rewarded.
Okay, sounds good.
The guards, the one that had been up in front of Lucian and got thrown backwards by Torvald disappears.
Oh.
And appears beside Torvald again. And this is like flurry and the scent of autumn leaves. she appears beside you. And Torvald and Cressara, I need you to make me wisdom saving throws. It's a very comforting, nice sense of autumn leaves.
Well, at least it's wisdom.
Yes, it's wisdom.
All right, that's going to be a 17.
Not that nice.
It's a 19.
No, you are, completely uncharmed by this.
Why do you smell like rotten leaves?
Oh, that's actually quite disgusting.
So that having failed, she will just try and stab Torvald again. But that is an appallingly abysmal 13, so we won't say anything else about that. The one next to Lucian attempts to stab Lucian. Again, these guards need to go back. I genuinely think there's something wrong with that purple one.
Your mic did something funny, Tis, by the way.
It did.
Oh.
You do not sound like you did 30 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Oh. Do I sound better now?
I think it's better, yeah.
All right. The other guard is going to fire at... Sorry, that one rolled on the floor. At Lucian and misses, and the last one is actually close enough in the right place to listen to the orders and slightly disadvantaged. He's going to try and hit the mage, aka Aldous, but again, misses because I swear to God, I need to get new dice.
You know what? It's the gods protecting us.
It would seem so. But Spider.
How high off the ground is the mage flying?
20 feet.
I'm going to skitter along the walls over to the mage and attempt to bite the mage.
Okay. Yeah.
That is going to be a 23.
You could hit the mage.
Big bite.
Not
Big
very
bite.
hard. That's going to be 4 piercing damage, and we need a Constitution saving throw. DC is
She'll be a
11.
little irritated.
That is a
Can't hear you,
success.
It was a success? Okay.
Yes, and
That will be 4 poison damage.
4 points in damage. And the mage drops from the sky and lands on the ground because they lost concentration on the fact they were flying. By rolling a fooling me there. There's a thud, and I kind of...
I was just following orders. She said attack the mage, so I did.
As the mage hits the ground, she's not looking quite so confident at the moment. This is not going to plan. Torvald, it is your turn.
All right. Torvald is going to completely ignore the person next to him. He's going to reach to his side, and he's going to pull the spirit out of the axe. As you see this blue, sparking lightning all over it.
Finally, the axe is back.
Let me pull it out here. So he takes it and he just wheels it around and throws it at the mage. And as it's flying through the air, as he throws, he keeps his hand out and fires a shot at it of a lightning bolt. And as it gets right next to her head, it gets struck with lightning. And we toll the dead.
11.
11. That's going to be 13 points of necrotic damage. And as it's struck by lightning, it's going to energize it, and it's going to swing with the axe side right at the head of the mage, assuming they're not dead already.
He's not dead yet, but
All right, it's gonna be a 19 to hit.
That will hit.
7 points of force damage.
She's knocked back down the ground. She's not dead, but yeah, go. Who the fuck are you? Oh, no, you guys, do not let the engine fall. We have this. We have this.
I would set it down if I were you. We're gonna fall pretty hard.
Then you'll fall with us.
Aye. We're not scared of that.
Can bring you all down.
You can certainly try.
And you see this glint in her eye that she's genuinely considering that as an option. Like, she is very much on her last legs at the moment. And Lucian, it's your turn.
And if fending off this guard, he's going to look to Ira and attempt to inspire her through music. And he's going to sing, "We're inside a flying fort. It was Lucian's plan, and it pleases Torm. And Torvald really cares for Ira, he do. Ira and Torvald. Ira and Torvald. Ira and Torvald. Ira and Torvald."
I am going to give a very confused glance at Lucian and then continue staring at the mage.
Are you so inspired, Ira?
Very much so.
And then I'm gonna go stab the guard.
What a beautiful serenade. Just like
I like to point out for the point of view, basically, Lucian is singing a song I was trying to kill him.
13 hit.
13
I
does
stab
not hit.
like this, the fourth, the fifth, the kidney shot, and I'll
And
switch
then I
over.
missed.
That's okay. I was preoccupied.
Yes.
You have a deep inspiration.
Okay, Aldous.
Okay, so I am going to actually focus purely on the mage for this one and cast my Eldritch Blast again.
The mage, you can hear her starting to mutter something on her breath as you're casting this.
All right, so
This is the start of something on her turn. This is not her. Like,
okay, so it's a 17 plus 7 and then a 9 plus 7. So that's a 16 and a 24.
those will both hit. So I release you upon my brain.
So it's a 14
Life.
plus
Ah!
6.
You never get to hear the end of what she was trying to say.
That was a total of 20 force damage.
She is dead.
In a
Very
puff of
dead.
Sparkling green swirly stuff.
And blood.
And blood.
A lot of blood. Like, she is very dead.
That was boom, tough act in action.
And the guard who was already scared of spider is now see them go like completely pale. Crisara, it's your turn.
All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Yeah, they're close enough. So I am going to take out my beautiful rod, and I am going to tell all of them that now, since their mage is dead, they're under our control, and they have to make a wisdom saving throw, DC 15, or be charmed by me for 8 hours. Don't you regret giving me this?
So much. Okay, what was it? Wisdom?
Yes, wisdom saving throw, DC 15.
You see the three in, for the sake of the token, the three in green turn to look at Krasara and go, you know, they don't seem that bad after all.
Of course not. We didn't want to hurt you.
Just, covered in blood and they just came out through the floorboards. Kill them.
Well, no, you wouldn't want to do that. And I'm going to motion them to step away so they're out of the way and holler at the group to just get the one that's not under my control.
Okay, that's the one next to Torvald. Ira,
Yes.
up on the machine. What would you like to do?
I just kind of want to bust it open.
You can go for it if you want.
I imagine I take my sword almost like a crowbar and I'm just kind of like trying to like rip it apart.
I'll let you do that as athletics, I think.
Sure.
I mean,
The only person that can destroy it is Krasara because she has to rage against the machine.
Ooh, how's a nat 20 sound? So 22?
sound.
It's the inspiration, I know.
Something in the machine just comes apart.
Yes.
And everyone in the room, I need you to make me a strength saving throw as there's this sudden of air comes.
Does that include me?
Yeah.
Lady Luck, save me.
I'm up against the wall and I'm sticking to the ground.
Strength saving throw.
Yeah.
18 minus 1, so 17.
Do I get any
17?
benefits for having
22.
7.
Do I get any benefits for
7.
spider climb?
If so, Torvald, yours doesn't actually stick you to the wall; it just gives you allows you to climb on surfaces, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not spider climb. I'm gonna say both roll.
Okay.
And let's see how I get.
I got a 13.
Does Spider have any sort of perks for being a
Well, that's what
spider?
I was asking.
I got a 7.
And that's I'm just working.
She said roll, so I rolled
I
anyway.
can
So
roll. So what did you get, Spider?
15.
Okay, so you're fine anyway. So Torvald and Lucian, I think. Lucian, you found yourself blown backwards against the wall with a thud. Torvald, you feel yourself being forced sort of up against the wall by this gusset of wind. Both of you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
It's forcing because you're in the space, you're by the wall, but you're being knocked back against the wall. It's this, and then the machine stops whirring and clattering, and you watch as in the space where the center of the machine was, the threads of this creature pull together and this human-like form to form up in the center, and everything else seems to almost go still for a moment. The guards looking to their new leader in worry and
It's all
uncertainty.
right.
Torvald's gonna say to the elemental creature,
I assume now that we saved you, you can save us.
You get, and the creature is looking at Ira here. You get one wish.
Guys, what do we want? We get a wish.
Choose fast. I am bringing this monstrosity down.
Well, that was my wish, so whatever you guys want.
What do we want? What do we want?
Nadira's going to say in spider.
Does anyone's
Gotcha.
You can hear now. You can hear the sound of running feet sort of coming up upstairs, and someone go, "The engine stopped! So check what's going on down there."
maybe kill the rest of the guards so we don't get attacked?
I'd wish for peace between the two nations, but
If
That is a little
work.
beyond my. I can give them peace.
no, but I don't like that tone.
How about... Wait, Ira, what about giving us a semi-permanent feather fall?
Like all of us?
Like, yeah, all of us.
Aren't you,
That was
aren't you all looking for some object too?
Wand. A wand. Do you know where the
Yes.
pieces of wands are? Do you maybe have like a map?
Maybe
Glass wand.
more clear, Ira.
Glass
Much
wand.
more
It's
clear.
glass wand. It was like a really cool weapon. It
the
shattered
wand
every-
of the champion.
Yes. Yep. We're looking for that. Do you have a map?
Of
Or
the pieces.
We
like
wish for all the pieces of the wand.
no, that ruins the scavenger hunt. Stop.
She goes,
This has to just completely rework the campaign.
nah.
So
She
many
goes-
regrets with the witch.
When the shard was broken, it was scattered across the worlds. One part in the stars, one part in the ice, part in the lands of storm.
Hold on. Slow down. Okay. And like Ira will like scramble and like try to get like a parchment out.
Wait,
Okay,
was that
while
our
that's
wish?
happening-
Did we agree on a wish yet?
And this is
It's
just
being
occurred to
answered.
me. While everything else is happening, Aldous is actually going to climb up that ladder and back into the hallway to guard against anything coming.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
stars,
right in a sec.
storm, ice. What else?
Ice. On to Muspelheim, the realm of flame.
Realm of flame. Okay.
One to the dark and depths beneath the earth.
Okay.
Sorry, just got to keep track of things. It could cause a lot of confusion if I get my numbers wrong. One to the realm of the dead, where shadows fall.
Okay.
One to the land beyond the mirrors, where the Queen in Crystal reigns.
I
Okay.
know about that one.
And the last is not in this world.
Okay. How do we
It
get
is
it?
taken far. You must sail beyond the stars to worlds I do not know. Worlds beyond your own, beyond this sphere.
Cool. Okay, so stars, storm, ice, realm of flame, darkened depths, realm of dead, mirror land, space.
Yes.
So
Now,
being nice and telling them, or is that the
thank you,
that answers that?
cousin.
Yes, you're welcome. Of course. I'm glad you're free.
And
Have you heard of Sorlinsby?
and this thing disperses into the ether.
Okay, goodbye.
Back to the
And
Guys, let's get back to the ship.
I thought we
And-
already knew how to find all the pieces. We could have wished for the fortress or something.
you hear everything is starting to tip and tilt.
I'm
And-
taking my minions with me.
The other one who's not Vinion, who goes, second thoughts, can I come with you?
Sure.
Only if you swear loyalty
I swear
to
allegiance, I
us.
Yes, I swear by undying loyalty to you.
Only
This
if
thing
you
is
take a
coming down.
bath.
Come on.
Let's go. And
Hey,
I'm going
leave
to
her alone.
I am
Leave
going
her
to
alone?
I'm going to stay in the I'm going to be the last one to go.
Okay.
Torvald's gonna spider climb his way to the hatch.
And so essentially, this fortress is coming down fast. You know you've got the hatch, you know you've got the tunnel. Aside from legging it, are you doing anything in order to speed up or aid your escape here?
Dashing.
Mm-hmm.
But Torvald's always dashing.
So he
Any sense
wishes.
of where the ship is in relation to like the window in the tower.
You don't know for certain.
Okay, never mind. I'm not going to jump out the window with my squirrel suit.
Essentially, I need you all to make me an athletics check here. Because you are having to leg it as fast as you can. This is...
I have a 13.
Do I get any sort of advantage for climbing?
No. You have shorter legs. You're not getting advantage on an athletics check of running down a corridor.
That's a 26.
26, Krasara. You can get out of this thing fine.
I may have gotten a 4.
Okay. Alright. So, did anyone get less than 10?
Yes.
That's me.
Yes,
Most of us.
Yes, I did.
So, as you're partway along this corridor, Krasara, should you wish, you can make it fine and away to the ship without any trouble. Aldous as well, should you wish. The rest of you,
I am going to push people ahead of me.
well, they are going slower than you can run, if you want to. So, if you want to hang back with them, you're welcome. But you will all 5 be on the fortress when it hits the ground.
Cool.
Oh shit. No, I'm gonna try to make it to the boat then.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, losers.
Get back to the tower. I would send a message to Aldous. Try and bring the ship to the window.
Yep, I am going to cast. Once I get to the ship, I'm going to jump into the seat and take over and get to the window.
Okay, so as Krasara, and first of all, maybe Krasara and Alice, as you emerge from this tunnel on the bottom of the rock, you can see your boat, you can see the ground below approaching rapidly, and Sindri says to Aldous, do we leave?
We've got to get to the window, and that's when I will try to. I will keep her
Essentially,
in her...
you have time to pull your boat out from being attached to the underneath of this rock that's about to hit the ground.
Yes, that's that.
That is essentially, you have time to manage that, given that it's spider web to the side of this rock that is about to hit the...
Yes, I will move it out from under the rock.
Okay, so you managed to get the boat free and away.
Are we able to jump out the window and use our squirrel suits?
If you chose to do that instead of trying to run for the boat.
Oh, if there's no chance of getting there before it crashes. Didn't you say we were, if we rolled?
Essentially, so if you were running for the boat, remember you went down the trapdoor and down the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
So if you'd already started running for the boat, you can retroactively say you didn't run for the boat, but as in, Krasara, 2 of your minions have made the boat.
Yes.
The others are still back in the fortress. So Lucian, if you want to have left, you can have left.
No, I feel like that's too big a retcon. I think.
You can retcon if you want, but it would be a retcon.
Well, if you don't have a problem with, I'm going to go to the window and leap out and squirrel out.
So it's not a long drop. It is an alarmingly short drop, actually.
I'm trying
because by the time you jump out, like this,
catch the wind.
It's gliding away as
I see
the
you going.
fortress hits the ground. And unless you're taking any other actions to try and avoid what is about to happen, everyone who is on the fortress still needs to make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Can I
Corval's gonna
levitate?
try to get out like any way he can, like if he can get to the window or whatever. I don't know how that's gonna work, but like
If
when
you've
we
got
were
a
running
plan,
out.
if you would have jumped out the window instead of
If you would have followed Lucian and squirrel suited out.
Yeah, you are wearing one of the squirrel suits.
yeah.
Yeah, so like any way that I could get out, I would the fastest way possible to get out.
So that would be out the window.
Gotcha. I didn't know there were windows there.
Okay, so because you did, yeah. I'm just telling you to tell me what you're trying to do, and I will tell you if it works, or if you need to roll some dice, or
Get out. Any way possible.
more specific.
Okay. I follow Lucian then.
Like, are you going down the tunnel? Are you jumping out the window? Are you teleporting out? Like, specifics, please.
I follow Lucian out the window then.
What did Adair
Alright.
do?
Seeing that we are that, I assume from where we're at in this hallway with everybody else making the boat and us not, Adair's going to try and brace himself with all 8 legs against the walls and anyone else who's near him that he can.
Ooh, okay. And then with levitate, am I able to hold people while I'm levitating? Because it says the target can weigh up to 500 pounds. How much does a big spider weigh?
I've been
I don't
trying
know.
to slim down. I do have that
Less
hourglass
than
shape.
500 pounds.
You do. It's beautiful.
It's right
Yeah,
here. It's
you
big
can
red on my back.
you can levitate and carry the spider, or the spider can hold you to the wall.
Adair, I can levitate if you want, or I can just hold on to you. What do you prefer?
Click, 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 click. What is everybody else doing? Because it's going to depend on
I'm on
who's
the
in
boat.
the
At
ship
this
and who's-
point, the others are gone. You are the last
I'm
two
on the
left.
boat.
It's
In
just
that
us
case-
hanging
You
out.
don't know. You
In
don't know
that
where the
case-
others are gone.
I will turn and shift back into human form and grab hold of Ira in a big hug.
Yay!
A
Okay,
bear hug.
yeah, we'll do a big ol' hug, and I will levitate. And we're in a hallway, right?
Yes.
So so I can move along. How levitate? I'll just here. Let me put it in
I guess.
roll 20. I
Okay, so
can.
for levitation, you've got that extra advantage. So make a dexterity saving throw at advantage as the fortress hits the ground. Torvald and Lucian, you've managed to just about glide free as this plume of dust rises up around you as this rock has plummeted into the ground. You
And
see,
the people with squirrel suits. Whoosh.
yes,
17 pro dex save with levitate.
Fallen.
There and Ira, you only take 1 point of bludgeoning damage somehow.
Yay!
Thank you, Ira.
We knock our heads against each other.
For
As
for Lucian and Torvald that are in their squirrel suits, I'm driving the boat now. I'm gonna try to swoop in under them and pick them up.
okay, so you bring. I mean, they will be on the ground by the time you reach them with the boat. Remember
Oh.
that the fortress is nearly at the ground. Like you're no longer. It's no longer taking place on. This is on the ground,
Okay.
and you jumped out not long before it hit the ground.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully we're not in the city at this point still, right?
No, you seem to be
Okay.
outside in some kind of snow-covered cabbage field, and as you fly the boat down to pick up those that squirrel suited the way out, you do notice a few dead bird people littered around on
Is
the
there a
snowy ground.
Is there a cabbage farmer whose cart is overturned?
Probably.
My cabbages!
Probably a farmer standing near the dead bird people.
Lending to them.
At that point, if I need to, I will land the boat so that our people can get back on, and I will sneak off and try to pull on one of the dead bird people bodies.
So as you're loading up the boat, you can hear shouts and movement from inside the fortress, because there are still very much people on the board.
Mhm.
And whilst a little shocked and bruised and battered from their landing, you suspect there is still very much an armed force inside that fortress.
Mhm.
That are rapidly making their way out of the fortress, or at least reinforcing it. You're not sure exactly what they're doing, but you have your boat, you have 2 slightly terrified looking elven guards, and you can see the ground cracked and broken around this fortress. Essentially, the key questions here is, are you sticking around to try and take down the rest of the people at the garrison, or are you getting the hell out of here?
What is everyone? Once everybody's up and what's it called? In the boat. What I take my seat and I ask, what do you guys want to do?
There we lived.
Thank you, Ira.
Of course. We should get back to the boat, right?
I can't hear what Lucian just said.
How far
So
are we
sorry.
from the capital?
You don't know. For certain, you suspect you are some miles outside the capital, but you can make me a survival check to try and work out where you are in terms of specific cabbage fields.
What's the orientation of the big fortress? Like, is it kind of like laying down, or
It's slightly tipped to one side.
okay?
Bear in mind that Adair and Ira are still inside it.
We'll slide out.
17, you reckon you're about 5 miles outside the city walls.
Well, they can't get to the capital quickly, so if we might be able to get back there, mobilize our forces, and they won't have the fortress that gives them the advantage.
Okay.
Agreed.
Let's wait for Adair and Ira.
Certainly.
And then
And
we'll go.
my other 2 minions. We can use them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think this could possibly we've run over time a little
By a few minutes.
for a few minutes. So I'm gonna say we're ending now, but the key question is essentially, are you waiting for basically I'm gonna put this choice to you now here. If you wait, there is a high chance you may end up engaged by the more forces inside the fortress before Ira and Adair can manage to find a way out. You don't know for certain.
I thought they were going to climb out the window Lucian jumped out of.
We're like tilted in a corridor, so we just have to kind of continue down the corridor and slide out somehow, somewhere.
Okay.
So we'll have a week to think on that, but I'm just letting you know that your choices here are essentially split the party and go back for reinforcements.
Adventures of Ira and Adair.
How does Torvald feel about that?
Or prepare for incoming.
Ira and Adair have been becoming good friends.
So, well, I'll give you got a week to think on that. So it kind of got a bit rushed towards the end because I was like,
Okay.
always be careful when asking for wishes for things when you're about to look out the sky.
Yeah, like, did anyone actually wish to know where the things were, or did we wish for them?
I did.
Ask.
You wish? We already know where they are. We have a thing that tells us.
Not exactly.
She didn't tell us exactly where they were.
We have a better
know
idea
exactly where they
now.
are. Come on.
I thought that
Corval
the
just
other.
wanted you to wish for beer. I mean, you know.
We have a better idea now, and Ira's excited. She didn't want to wish for all the things because she wants to go find them.
Oh, we could
Scavenger
have wished for the
hunt.
flying fortress or something.
Nah, we've got a boat.
Okay.
Out of character and complete DM mode. The elemental was the thing keeping the fortress flying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My question was there only the one elemental or was there more?
As far as you know, one.
We only saw the one.
I suspect it might have been quite powerful. And pissed off.
If you grant a wish,
Yeah, wishes.
It was a
High level spell, man.
Genasi.
Should have wished for more wishes.
Should have. Definitely.
I think
I was really close to like just having Lucian come in and do something really, really dumb, but
Nice.
I thought against it. I thought,
my main purpose, I realized I'd run over time on like the all the Aarakocra stuff. Thinking, shit, I've got to set like the whole fortress thing down in like 2 hours. I was like, oh,
I'm guessing
no.
it wasn't literally the wish spell that you were.
It is not literally. It was
Oh.
it's thematic wish adjacent.
Gotcha.
Like I don't know what you call wish adjacent. The really wanting spell. The hopefulness spell.
Okay.
Yeah, and so sorry for demanding way out. It's just like I don't know, just window or corridor.
Like, hurry.
Thank you very much for bearing with my slightly rushed ending there, and thank you very much to
It was
everyone.
fun.
And yeah, I have no idea what's happening next week, so I'm not even going to attempt to say.
We're doing something.
Wait, is
Yeah.
Lucy going to be with us next week?
I am not available next week.
No.
All right.
He died in the crash.
Yeah.
He flew off in
Try
a
it.
squirrel suit.
He
was
flew
so
off
weird
into
when
The
the-
that-
dragon flew by and ate him.
Oh no.
we can say he's with you as an NPC, or depending on what house.
Some ideas that I can talk with.
Yeah, that he could be have urgent business to nip off and do.
I am a spy at heart.
Yeah. So we'll suss out that. Yeah, I'd hope to get a bit further on, but you know how it is. Never make plans for the DM. Plans are for players.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Players screw things up, don't they?
oh no, DM screw your plans up. It's like oh no, they're gonna sneak in, and I put the mad crazy murder machine there. I feel kind of bad.
Oh, well,
Oh, that was good. I like it.
it worked. It did what we
It
needed
worked.
it to do.
Yeah.
Die.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week with something, and I think that's everything. It's